What's going on? We're live.
Good evening. We're live?
Oh, we started?
Is this
Yeah.
a milestone? The guest is on immediately?
You're not a guest, you're a brother.
Oh. Ham
Yeah,
radio.
so
There, we already started
Well,
talking about ham radio.
that's
Two
it.
milestones.
We're done.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
I do need to make one comment really quick. Where did it go? James
Don't be
KI5 OEB says APRS rocks. APRS would have been absolutely useless. Actually, APRS was absolutely useless the entire last week of my life. Yep.
Where were you?
I was in Pacific Beach, Washington, and north of there. I was all over the state of Washington, sort of. I have
Okay.
many, many videos to edit.
So, Mike, the reason is you have to have a network. There has to be someone else to hear you, to digi you out, just like the old packet days of AX25.
It's the same thing as having like a DMR hotspot. If you don't
Yes.
have internet, it's worthless.
Yep.
It's dumb.
Your SOL, duck out of the water, whatever analogy you want to use.
Yeah.
It all means the same.
So it I have another APRS video idea that's probably going to take me a really long time to make, but hopefully it'll pound the point home.
Can you?
It'll be funny no matter what.
All right. Can you, Mike, or any other individual, take their vehicle, because APRS is being done on what? VHF, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, it can be done on HF, but
It's also done on
Who
HF.
wants to bother with that?
And UHF.
Okay. Well, hang on. You do have that ATAS, but if you don't want to tie up your HF rig because it's being used or whatever, and there's the logistics of is the vehicle running and all, but aside all of that, the vehicle is running the radio, and you go portable, and you go from you to your car to your vehicle, and then your vehicle potentially out to the world. Hopefully somebody could hear you with your antenna that you're using, which could be anything from the mag mount to the 5/8 wave, the half wave, a Yagi, quad, whatever, correct?
You should watch
Take
my channel.
that.
I recently just did a video about all those things.
Amazing.
Would
Really?
believe
You have
that?
a video? That's
And would you
so
believe
there are options.
I thought of that too?
Because I was going to say, that's, take my ideas and don't put my name on them, but put them into a video. So,
It's already published.
all right, publish. Okay.
Like, was it last week or 2 weeks? So I had a question in Mailbag Monday about how to spot yourself APR, or what the question was, what do I do if I don't have cell signal and I want to spot myself for POTA? I've been in that situation. My answer is just call CQ.
Yep.
Yes,
But I
correct.
mentioned that you could do like JS8 call. There's another one called SodaMate that I just learned of after that. There's APRS, but I'm like, I don't know how to do any of these things because I just call CQ. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, who cares? Who cares if you're spotted? But I challenged my arch nemesis Cam4ACK to make a video showing how to spot, and he only showed us what to do. He didn't actually show us how to do it. So I then did a subsequent video showing how to do it on the FT5D, but it was a 2-part video. And then I made another video where I go out to the park because Jason references the closest digipeater to me is like 20 miles south of Huntsville State Park.
Right.
So I brought a bunch of different antennas, a couple radios, and tried with just a rubber duck and then a signal stick and then a Yagi and then a J-pole 40 feet up in the air with both 5 watts on a handheld and 50 watts on a mobile, also including my mobile antenna. So 5 antennas could not hit that digipeater that was only 20 miles away. So when people say, if you don't have cell phone signal, you can send a message out with APRS, it's pure and utter bullshit. You can.
Okay.
But anyway, that's my APRS. So, but it's James's fault. He taunted me in the comments there. So, how is everybody today?
Wow. I'm afraid to answer that question.
It's
Doing great. Been spotted on APRS all day.
So you invited me. I'm not the burden of conversation on this.
No,
you invited me.
No, absolutely not. It's all.
Who's this guy?
because we haven't seen Shane in a few weeks. So we
What
figured
what is this group of jolly assholes doing? It's 7:00
We're
on a
being
Tuesday
jolly
night.
and assholes.
Well, we was
Right.
trying to find somebody that could actually make Tuesday night shows.
Hey, I'm here, right?
Yeah,
I made it.
right.
I was a little late, but I made it. Anyway,
Yep.
I can't speak either. So.
what'd I miss? Anything? Anything fun?
Mike ranting about APRS. So
What's new?
James started it.
he did. He did.
If
That
Mike
doesn't
would ever,
surprise me.
if Mike would just do it right, he would have great results and may find
Yeah.
it useful. is what I'd give
Somebody
it.
commented that I don't know how to do APRS. I'm like,
Well,
I mean,
I'm literally
is it really
doing
that
it
hard?
right here. No, it's not. I mean, on
I mean-
Inisu it is, but
Well, yeah, that's true.
yeah,
it's not that it's hard. It's inconvenient.
and unreliable.
Well, true.
Everywhere that
True.
I was over the weekend would not have gotten a packet out. So, like that whole, if you don't have cell signal, there's a better likelihood of you having a cell phone signal than there is a digipeater near you.
wow.
That-
Holy
These are
crap.
just facts. These
No,
are truth.
that
These are
he
real
speaks the
world
truth.
experience. This isn't me crapping on it without actually going out and testing it in multiple different geographic locations. So, and that's my only beef, because everybody says if you don't have cell phone signal, you can send a message with APRS.
I'm
Mike,
sorry,
is it
but
fair to
I'm,
say?
Anyway,
I'm sitting in the DFW Metroplex, and from an HT, I can't even get a packet out.
Okay.
So unless I'm
I was
on a
just
mobile
gonna say-
radio, even I can't get a packet out. And I'm on the third floor looking over everyone else. There's no problems with line of sight, and I can't get a packet out.
So large population area does not guarantee you an APRS
no, people have to
signal.
set up digipeters, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like, that's your thing, or eye
Right.
gates. They're two different things. But
But an iGate can be a digipeater.
another guy commented a whole like he wrote a whole book, but he's like so he mentioned like the APRS Foundation and me and my videos are doing bad things for APRS, and I'm like, that's great.
Maybe people will move on. And
Wow.
I still
That's sad. That's sad.
APRS Foundation, that's a thing. So
Yeah,
I
it is.
might do like a whole stupid comments video. I've got my whole desktop is full of screenshots
Yes.
right now, just
Oh,
from
boy.
that one video where I'm literally out in the field doing an experiment, seeing if I can hit this repeater or digipeater to spot myself APRS, and it just didn't happen. And then
But again, Packet
a lot
was
of people
the
were
same
very
way.
supportive.
Packet was the same way. When I got onto Packet in my I don't know town, which was small, there was about 18,000 people. I was the only one on it. So again, I'm looking. I played with a Yagi. You learn about VHF propagation. Finally, somebody set up one across town. Big signal was able to throw the signals, and it grew. Word of mouth. Hey, you got to do this. You connect to this guy. Next thing, and then again, maybe that's where APRS could be, because we thought
But
when
why?
DMR came in. But
You know
hang on.
why?
Hold on.
why?
My point is this: when DMR came in, a lot of people said this is going to be great, and it didn't gravitate. The field of dreams of build it and they will come sometimes doesn't happen. I learned that with D-Star. And regardless of what the reasons why people like it or don't reason, just because it's new doesn't automatically mean it is. My train is here. If you guys heard my train,
Yeah, I heard that.
gotta go, guys. Choo choo.
Your trains come in.
I love chasing that caboose. No, what happens is again they shenanigans at what at 10 minutes after.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes
surprise no one ever.
it doesn't build, or for whatever the reason is, and I say it's psychological. There is a psychological behind the reason why some people do not jump on, whether it doesn't interest them, they think it's too technical, they think blah blah blah, they don't, or they can't have time to invest in it.
You have to invest another radio into it.
But Steven
There
has a
you
great
go.
point. Steven in our
What's that?
chat has a great point. What is APRS
joint?
for? Because the only thing I've been able to pick up is a random weather station,
Right.
which is sending out temperature, wind speeds, all that kind of good stuff. And then a
Okay.
bunch of people sending out their location. around the city.
It could
would
have,
I've got to go to another website to see said breadcrumbs. Why?
It could
Breadcrumbs. I
have
love the
legitimate
breadcrumbs.
reasons for like search and rescue and stuff. You can beacon
Sure.
out your GPS coordinates in an emergency. So that part I get, but it's still, most of APRS doesn't rely on simplex. It's radio over the internet. No different than Fusion, DMR, D-Star. It's the same exact thing. So when you're, sending these messages to get to spot yourself for POTA, that's just sending a signal to an iGate or a Digipede or whatever the hell it is, and then going over the internet. So
It's for every
why
ham
in
fest
God's name would I use something that relies on the internet when I can very easily just push the PTT and make a contact, or even more reliable, get on HF and make a contact, and just call CQ, and then the first person that you make, the first person that you work, say, "Hey, can you spot me?"
All right, I'm going to be the naysayer. I'm going to be your naysayer. How reliable is HF when
I
you
have
those solar
never-
storms?
I have never, in the times that I've been out playing with HF, I've never not been able to talk to at least one person on across the multitude of bands. I've never had a day where I couldn't at least talk to one person.
You
They
should
may be
come
5
to
miles
the
away,
Northwest.
They might be on 7.200, but there's still
Right.
make contact with them.
They're there.
There's a net going
There was-
somewhere. I'll find
There
them.
was
And they
a
are there. God bless them.
huge-
Those boys are always there. They are always there. And if you need to do a radio check regarding is my radio working propagation, man, I sit on 7.200. Just sometimes I'm laughing my ass off.
There was a huge solar storm 5 days ago that just shut it down. At least in the Pacific Northwest where I was, we were not making contacts. So,
I was gonna say
No
spotting
ground wave,
yourself,
no nothing.
POTA, nothing. It was dead.
worked.
But we got hella northern lights. It was
Oh, I
freaking
bet.
awesome.
Same
Oh, I
here.
bet that
Same
was.
here.
Even Joe Brett got it.
Yeah,
Speaking of
Thursday
Joe
night,
Brett,
yeah.
Hi,
But
buddy.
you weren't on the
Huh.
beach of the Pacific Ocean in
No.
Western Washington.
That's a mighty fine hat you got there, son.
Yeah, where'd you get that hat, Joe?
Where'd you get that at?
Flea
You
market?
holding out on us?
Did you get it at the flea market?
A little
get it-
Richardson
you know-
112, a little leather patch
got it.
action going on?
He got it at the truck stop, the 76 truck stop.
Yeah.
a Flying J
He was
They don't
looking
have
for
those at Buc-ee's.
Looking for ham
It was-
sticks.
he was looking for a D104 microphone.
Yeah, that's what it was.
with that 4-pill amp.
My
No, the
buddy
clip.
that
The clip that hangs on the mirror.
the laser guy, the 662 lasers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He made the patch and ordered the hat. Or probably a Richardson or something.
Yeah, Richardson 112 is what it looks like.
Is your
I like
name
it.
on the back of that hat?
It's on the front.
It's on the front.
It says Brett.
I know, but
Eva,
sometimes you put something on the back. Look at that.
Look at
Don't
that.
mind the sweat ring, but
He's all
No,
featured.
no,
Very
no,
own
no, it has to.
A5
No.
YVY trucker hat.
Nothing is
Are
worse
these
than a
things
new
you're
hat.
selling, or is this like a segue into a product here? Or?
he has done these, not as much as some of his other stuff, but he's sold a few.
So you told him to knock you out a dozen or so?
No, and it's the wife done this for some occasion. Surprised
nice.
me with it.
That was
That's
awfully
a
nice
nice
of her.
lady. That's a nice lady. Now what are we looking at?
APRS, my Digipeater.
Of course, right.
Joe's got his own
What's funny
Digipeater, of course.
Is the way Joe Brett's face is right now reminds me of Wilson.
Yes, it does.
Hey,
That's
Wil-
Wilson.
Wilson or
our neighbor.
Kilroy.
That's
Howdy,
gonna be
yo,
his
neighborino.
Right.
Well, have we talked about our people in green? Have we done a proper introduction? I'm
We have
playing
not.
catch
We're
up.
waiting
Yeah.
for you.
Y'all are
We did
way
a proper
behind.
introduction.
Yeah.
We immediately started talking about ham radio,
We did.
and now
we
we're
did.
15 minutes in.
Well, I'm going to say, if you're in green there, we want to say thank you for your channel support, monthly support. We appreciate that. If you've got a special shout out pending, go ahead and feel free to use it for Will and Redneck. 22 months. 2 more months until you get the next level up. So looking forward
There
to
you go.
seeing all those
That'll be a
those
twofer.
new items showing up in the chat. So thank you guys for being around here. I'm gonna keep it short. Can I talk about me for a minute?
Well,
Sure.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. The floor is yours, Senator.
Well, as soon as I
No.
popped in, someone popped into the chat saying, "Hey, did a balloon hit a tower?" And I did spend 4 days over in Albuquerque at the balloon fiesta. Was a lot of fun. There was only one day that we couldn't fly. There was, there was a balloon that took out a radio tower. They clipped the guy wire as it went by. There's video of it. It's K4OT, I think, has a video clip of it. There was a balloon that hit a building. There was a balloon that hit some pickups. There's a day that it was windy and people probably shouldn't have flown. They still
Were there
said
balloons
the field
hitting
was
balloons?
green. There was a little fabric on fabric action, but that's called a kiss. That's balloon kisses, and that's fine. We just don't want
Hell yeah.
wicker on fabric action because wicker seems to rip holes, and we don't want holes in our balloon.
And we don't want
You got
wicker on
wicker.
wicker action.
And you got that wicker.
Exactly.
That's rough.
That causes
That's
kids.
rough. That's
Yeah,
rough.
wicker on
Doesn't it,
wicker
Joe?
action will cause children.
Yeah.
Four goes little.
Hopefully catch up here. Wayne, thanks for the 6 months. W5WNR, thank you so much. And N1JUR, thanks for the 9 months. For the love of APRS.
Love APRS. Kick this guy out of here.
And Steve Elliott, thank you so much for the 16 months. We appreciate you guys. Don N5SKT gifted 5 Clubhouse memberships.
Don Army.
I gotta go over to another screen because StreamYard will not
I got it.
bring
I got
that
it.
in. So I got it. Ryan K5TAR, Tim W8NGT, James KI5OEB, that's a mouthful, and Tracy Kennedy KI5UXN, and Jeff Wingate with the sub. So thank you, Don, for sharing the love.
I must have already used my 1 month shout out thing.
Your once a month shout out.
Yeah, whatever.
Phil
That
for
was
the
hard
15
to go.
months. Thank you so much. So yeah, a lot of fun out in Fiesta Town. We had only one day that we couldn't fly, so a lot of people got to fly. I gave up my flight for someone else so that they could have a flight day. So I chased so that they could go fly because the temperatures. It was oddly enough, it was hot out there because it was 90 in the middle of the day, and I think in the start of the day was only like in the lower 60s, and it's already at 5,000 foot elevation there. So the density altitudes are already high. So we couldn't take as many people as we could normally take because it's 40 degrees out there, which is fine. You can fly anything, but so yeah, next year. And I'll be out there.
Dude,
I have to be out there for the whole.
Higher temperatures means less propane use or more
Higher
propane
temperature means more propane use
use? Okay.
because the air is less dense.
Okay, wait.
As well as determining the weight of how many, like you take a fat bastard like me, try putting me in that thing. You're gonna have
Well, balloons are
no,
temperature limited. So if you have an ambient temperature of 70 degrees, you need approximately 100 more degrees to achieve buoyancy. The maximum the balloon can go is 225 degrees. So you're going to temperature
we're
out
doing
before
math.
you. I know.
We're doing
That's why
math.
I was trying to do simple math for you, Izzo. You're going to temperature out before anything. So you won't have enough heat to produce enough lift from 5,000 feet. From the sea level is a different story, but Albuquerque's in the middle of the mountains. Scout
I didn't know that.
75. Mike's K8MRD shout out. I wasn't going to use it.
Hey,
I'm
you know
now I'm a
something?
member for 22 months.
Thanks for the 22 months, Scout.
If you're following Scout 75, let me just throw a quick.
Oh, wow.
That
look.
was an
If you're-
04. Stop it.
That's what the same freaking tower.
No.
Come
it was a
on,
different
guys.
one.
I think
So
you
what
put a
I'm
stop
taking
to
out of this
balloon
is
stuff.
that balloons are killing ham radio.
Yeah,
It was a radio station tower. It wasn't a ham radio tower.
well, it's a
Oh,
tower.
And Steve,
Radio
that's
frequency.
not that's false news.
That's
Come
not
on
mine.
now. Who is it?
Uh,
Who shared it?
I don't know.
One of you bastards did.
It was not me.
It wasn't
Oh,
me.
it was Joe Brett.
was-
I see.
You,
I just
you
had to
know
look
it
down and
wasn't
read
me. I love my towers, but I'm not into sharing.
But
Hey,
no, it was a good
guys,
time. If you haven't
can we
been,
give
you
a-
got to go.
Can we give a quick shout out to our brother Scout 75?
Do we have
has
to?
been he has been on point with people making stupid comments and some of his stuff that he's been doing. And the man is incredible. I love him. He calls them out. He says it like it is. and regarding this, people using radio frequencies and they're not licensed and all this other, and people who do capital letters and all, something, Scout, I love you, man. This is why you're a brother around here. So if you're not following him on Twitter, follow him on the X. Follow him on the X Twitter. So
speaking of SpaceX, did y'all see the little event we had the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Was that not the coolest thing ever?
That was sweet.
Yes, it was.
Holy cow! I don't know how tall
amazing
that booster is, but seeing that
massive.
It went to space, it came back, and it landed between two chopsticks.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that it was beautiful? That was so beautiful.
It was flawless.
Yes, it was.
I was like
this show.
That was, well, I wouldn't go that far.
I pictured us being in the nav command center controlling that, saying, "Hey, we got this.
We got this.
We got this."
I'm trying to pull up photos so I can at least show you guys some of the things from Fiesta this year, but I can't find any.
Of course not.
Hey, while
way
you're
to prepare
doing that,
for the show.
Yes, I just really got off the road a minute ago.
Oh
yeah, there's one falling. That's it.
what, they're chasing it.
Oh,
it's
wait
that.
a minute.
ouch.
Now that's a radio broadcast.
Got to
tower.
pause and talk about it.
Because they're
So
right in the
fair
white.
use, right? So, wow, that thing's falling.
That's gonna be expensive.
That's gonna make a dent.
Hopefully somebody's got insurance.
Yeah, I say, what the guy at the insurance company said? Shit, we got to write a check.
Thank you,
Yeah.
KOAT.
Yeah, do you guys have insurance for ballooning if stuff like
We
that
do.
happens?
Yep. We have insurance individually, and then the event itself has insurance.
Is it enough?
Now, when
to
you
cover
go to
that
an event,
tower?
when
I mean,
you go to an
I carry $1
event,
million worth of liability.
all right, but when you go to the event, do you have to show some type of we have insurance? I forget what they call that. The
Proof of insurance.
Okay. Yeah, proof of insurance.
Yep.
No, but there's a formal insurance term for it. Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
I get the point.
That was just one of those.
We don't have to show like your declaration.
A
pages
rider,
or anything like
a
that.
rider. It's usually called a rider. That you have a rider to participate and do something sometimes.
Yes,
So,
man.
you carry a million?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
my
knock over a
personal-
tower like that.
Your
there
bread
goes $1 million
personal-
bucks just
personal-
like that.
My
I'm
personal
just
liability
thinking
is
if
$1
I
million
can get
bucks.
Shane to bump into my
Thank you,
truck.
Mo. See, I knew it. Joe Brett's cash register was going off in that head.
Mhm.
See, that's what that hat does. That hat makes you smart. Not only does it make you good looking, that hat makes you smart. Everybody, go buy
ballooning
one.
again.
His thinking cap.
His
That's all
balloon
about the
knocked
hat.
over my magnetic antenna. I need $1,000.
I was gonna say triple points if you can land it in the back of Joe Brett's truck.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
I think Shane's
The
froze.
the old Joe Brett's old pickup truck. Now that would have been.
Mhm.
$1,000,
I'll
you
bet-
can get an ATOS and an 891.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, easily.
He lands in the back of my old pickup truck. I'll probably go for the full $1 million.
Guess
There you
what?
go.
But Elon Musk could. Don't give that bet to Elon Musk, because guess what? He will do it.
I mean, would he put it in a 80 square foot radius?
Something like that. Look at what he's
But-
been doing over the ocean with
Yeah,
those.
exactly. Putting it on the drone ships.
ran-
Yeah.
Yeah, and hitting the bullseye. He's hitting the bullseye. So
Or
that's
he's getting close. Yeah, he just said browser crashed. Likely story.
It's because we have to use Chrome for StreamYard.
Tell you.
we're using
I'm not
APRS
using Chrome.
for that.
Well, I can't use Safari. I got to use Chrome.
I'm using Chrome because it
It's
don't
like
like Firefox.
Anti-Safari.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know it didn't like
yeah,
Firefox.
I think Shane actually got a Windows update because he said rebooting. So
Oh boy.
And
Back
weren't
to
we
that
just
one.
talking about that before the stream?
yes, we were.
How apropos.
Uh-huh. Did you turn it off and turn it back on again?
I wish we could hear his audio, because you know
Oh.
he's saying
Oh,
he's
yeah.
saying so many bad words with a lot of syllables in them.
I was going to say that swear jar is probably going to be full by the end of the night.
Oh, that's right. Ka-ching.
Do people actually have those?
Yes.
We did at one point.
Yeah, we still have it. It's downstairs in the shack
Okay.
Izzo put a quarter in it and then it went away.
for a show.
Mhm.
He decided it was going to cost too much.
Hell yeah. Start playing George Carlin's 7 words.
Which you can never say on
That's how it
television.
starts.
May
how
he
it
rest in
starts.
peace.
Yeah, he's great.
I think we're down to what, 3 now?
What, good comedians?
No, words you can't say on television.
Point.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Does anybody watch television anymore?
No.
Oh,
I stream everything.
IFC is usually pretty open,
Okay.
especially after 11. But I know even during the day, there is no tiling anymore. They're playing it. You don't like it, then
is
don't
it like
watch it.
Cinemax After Dark back in the day?
What?
Yeah, that's that. Yeah,
Except you don't need a descrambler.
Right.
right.
That was a
Because we've
tip.
had it on it, right? Because we've had it on at work, and all of a sudden we're like, "Uh-oh, someone's coming through the door. Put on the Weather Channel, quick!"
Yeah.
Really, gotta be careful sometimes when the visitors come in.
Yeah, we had a TV with cable at the houses in Washington, and I was like flipping through the channels. I'm like, this is just so bad. Like they don't even
Like the
try anymore.
traditional-
Like Comedy
No.
Central was just like the same show over and over. Like they would do
Mhm.
like 4 hours of Family Guy, and then they had, which is great. I love Family Guy, and then they would have some other show, and it's like they're not even coming up with anything new anymore. It's terrible.
No.
Comedy Central used to be great, but it's terrible now.
I go to a
Back when it used to
hotel.
be comedy.
The only thing I like about the TV is when you walk in, it's got your name on it. It says "Welcome."
I don't
No,
go
I
to
cut it
fancy
off.
enough hotels.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
you're staying at high-end
What
hotels.
the
Motel
hell?
6 doesn't do that.
What is that?
No, I
What
don't
is
do
that? You stay at a Ritz Carlton?
Actually,
Five
the hotel that Josh stayed at Huntsville had that on the screen. It was like, "Welcome, Josh Nass." It had his full name too. It had his middle name too, because
Oh,
Josh got lonely, so he wanted to have a sleepover a couple nights at Huntsville. So I slept over there and we had fun.
You obliged.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
hear
it
him.
had his name on it. But yeah, that's way above my pay grade.
I was gonna say the hotel I was at in San Diego didn't have that, and that sumbitch was $1,300 for the week.
That's it.
Yeah.
I would have told them for that amount of money, I better see my name when I come into the room. Somebody better
Well,
be talking to me.
And it was freaking valet only parking at $60 a day.
Damn.
Thank
Yeah, I
God
was
that's a
gonna ask,
government
Mike,
pay
did you-
job.
Did you have to pay where you stayed at for the parking,
Do you have to pay for toilet paper?
or is that just a DC side of Washington?
Yeah,
hope
they only
you
had one
watched
plot.
the
What the
My
hell?
bad.
Did you tip the man?
Yes, I did.
You have to tip the guy. That's
You
right.
gotta tip the valet.
I
You
just
got to
go the
tip them when it's
bathroom.
mandatory to have valet.
Yeah, I think you do.
Nah,
I mean,
All right. When you go into the restaurant and you do a pickup order, do you tip the place even though you came in, you walked in, you ordered?
that
right.
bugs me so
No.
bad. Like
Not usually, no.
Subway and
if
I
I have
usually
to stand up to order it, I'm not tipping.
Right. But the valet guy who's going to take your vehicle, whether it's the rental or not, that's one of those I think you should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just tell, that's kind of one of those.
if it's your choice for your convenience, yeah. Tip for convenience.
Yeah.
Well,
Tip
but
because
if they're
you're trying to
forcing
back
you
in
to
the
do
corner.
valet, I don't know.
I probably could have found a public lot, but we're talking downtown San Diego.
Would the tires be still there when the next time you go out?
That's
I think
questionable,
That's Chicago. That's O'Hare.
and whether or not I make it back to the hotel
Ask
safely
the other Mike.
was the other question. So
Yeah, and you can't carry on that whole coast. It's a bunch of
exactly.
crap. Yeah.
Wow.
I
The
felt
tire-
naked.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the
Well, at least
residents
the
can,
biggest-
but
Not
easily.
Guinness.
biggest part of that coast.
Ain't that
Yeah.
something?
So weren't we supposed to talk about Mike tonight?
I just wanted to see what he's got going on. And I said, Mike, come on. We haven't talked to you in a while. Just what's going on in your life?
We do
that
need to
kind of
catch
thing.
up because we
Mhm.
and if you have and if
That's
you're
not the
living
text
under a
that I
rock,
got.
if you're Mike,
Yes,
we
it
need you to
did. What
bail
did
us
it
out.
say?
Please show up.
It said,
Yeah,
I
I'm
haven't
fixing to
seen
find
you.
it.
We miss you. It says, we miss you. What are you doing?
Mike, yo.
Oh, the other Mike. We should
The
bring
other
him
Mike.
on too. We should bring him on.
I don't know where your message is.
Good. It got deleted. Good. See, I'm right.
So you
Yeah,
just
prove me
got back
wrong.
from, was it here recently you got back from the POTA extravaganza on the West Coast?
I got in at just after 2:00 this morning. Yes.
Oh, nice.
You
So
were the
what was that like in a,
WE4DX, right?
Yeah. So I
Uh-huh.
was with the Ham
Take your
Radio
turn, Shay.
Adventures Club, Whiskey Echo 4 Delta X-Ray. I'm sure they have an internet page you can go, but it's a ham radio club for people who don't have ham radio clubs like myself. Like the club here in Huntsville, Texas, is kind of
like the Clubhouse?
and
Eh.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they actually do things. So once a year in October, they have a big outing where it keeps growing. The first year I went in 2021, we rented 4 houses. The next year I went, I think we had 6 houses. This year we have 7 houses. There was like 40.
Holy cow.
There's over
Wow.
40 people
Wow.
there. Yeah, and mostly hams. Some people brought their significant others who weren't hams. But yeah, we just go out there and do ham related things all week. Aside from just doing parks on the air, because you can like legit just drive on the beaches out there if
That's
you have
nice.
like a Jeep or a big 4x4 truck or something like that, and you can activate right on the ocean. It's great. There's kit building. So this year we launched, I was only part of one of them because I was out doing other things, but 3 whisper balloons, like beacons, on the beach. It was awesome. There's a new kit. I was gonna get one for Jason, but it was having problems. But there's a new kit for the buddy hex that turns it into, this is so freaking cool. And if Jason's watching, you almost had one, buddy. Because I was gonna get one for him because he does so much for other people. I like to give him little gifts every now and again. But it's an automatic rotator, a wireless rotator that connects to the mast of the buddy hex.
Ooh.
Now, the buddy hex is not hard.
Antenna boy.
No antenna boy. So you can use your
Oh.
phone, you can use your computer, and you just it's kind of like a DMR hotspot where you type in a URL. It's 146 dot whatever, and the thing puts out its own Wi-Fi signal. And just from your phone, and it's got a gyroscope, so it knows. So you tell it where north is, and then you set that, and then you can manually or automatically rotate it just using your phone. So there's a little control box that mounts to the mast, and then there's another motor drive. It's a 12-volt motor. It's like a worm thing that connects. You just pop off the little crank on the mast, and it's just a box that connects to it. But it was, I think, Sunday, I was trying to do a video of me and the guy who kind of brought this to the club, and we were just having nothing but problems. It kept bogging down, and I think he found a solution for it, but I was like, yeah, I don't think this is quite ready for prime time, so I didn't end up picking one up. So that was a thing. What else did we do? There's fox hunting. They built like a little receive antenna with an attenuator on it for fox hunting. So like one whole day pretty much is dedicated. Just if you want to participate, but most people do. They put out a bunch of foxes all around the beach, and you got to go find them, and it's really fun. We have on Thursday night, we go to a restaurant that's about 20 minutes away, and we have a prime rib dinner. And then Saturday, my favorite part, one of the guys makes pizza dough and brings all the ingredients. So and he's got these little, they're not unis, they're better than unis. I forget what it is, but he's got 2 pizza ovens, and they cook them in like a minute. They're stupid
that's
fast.
cool.
Wow.
And it's freaking amazing.
Like the pizza oven, wood-fired pizza oven kind of thing. Only not
Well, it's
propane.
propane. It's
something.
propane.
Solo
It's just this little portable propane, but they're freaking amazing. So, and then obviously everybody's drinking and partying at night. The bottles of Malort were there again. I don't know why, but
why would someone do that?
I may or may not have taken another shot of Malort.
Oh.
2 years ago was my initiation.
Was it on a dare, or did you get money for it?
No. So
Or
one of the guys, Ben, it was his birthday, and we're like, Ben, you got to take a shot of Malort and he's like, no, and he left because he was parked at Pacific Beach State Park. It's like a half mile down there, not even. So he went back to his camper, and then he came back. He's like, you know what, I'll do it. So like everybody got a glass, and we did a shot of Malort to celebrate his birthday.
Oof.
There was a
Crowd goes
Mashtastic
wild.
talk. I mean, it's involved. So like, if this sounds fun to you, Ham Radio Adventures, Whiskey Echo 4 Delta X-Ray, look them up on the internet, find their website. I think it's only like $15 a year to actually be a member.
Our buddy Don shared it in the chat.
Okay. And Izzo, you had a question? You had your hand raised?
Yeah, first off, Ham Radio Adventures, I think it's 10 or 20 bucks a year, and they're a great group. Support them. I love them. They're on Discord. What is this alcohol that one talks about? I never heard of it.
Oof.
It's gross. So like pine sol,
Goldschlager.
battery acid.
Goldschlager is gross.
Well, Goldschlager is just cinnamon schnapps, basically.
That's
This
gross.
is-
What's the other?
this is-
what's the other stuff? What's the other
Mal-
stuff in the green bottle?
I don't know.
Come on,
Absinthe?
guys, help me out. What is it?
Jägermeister?
Jägermeister.
Well, Jaeger,
That's
yeah.
gross.
Delicious.
That's gross. No,
I
that's
could do
gross.
That's
some
black
Jaeger.
licorice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I drank a lot of Jaeger in my 20s. Yeah. But no,
So it
Malort
says that Malort is-
trumps all of them.
It says Malort is flavored with anise and wormwood.
No, it's flavored with battery acid, pine sol,
That's it.
bleach,
What is anise?
like any disgusting
is anise?
chemical. Star anise
It's
is
an
like
herb.
a licorice
I didn't know a
flavored
worm could get
herb.
wood.
Malort is absolutely disgusting. It is the most vile stomach acid. Like, you know, if you like,
It's
if you
very
kind of,
bitter, Joe
if
Brett.
you throw up in your mouth a little bit,
Yes.
that's
Oh, God.
kind of
It's like 10 cups.
you're
Jägermeister.
getting-
That's what
you're
Jägermeister
getting-
does.
No,
to
Jaeger
you.
tastes Jaeger.
The dry
I like Jaeger. But
Jaeger's
Malort
like
is
every
literally
bar
like
rag in
a
America.
Verp.
Oof.
Yeah. It's
I
a
used to
Chicago
end
thing. They like it
drinking
there in
nights
Chicago,
with
which explains
Jägermeister.
Chicago pizza. I'm sorry, Joe Brad. I stepped on you. What did you say?
I know I stepped on you. You was already in the path, and I stepped right into it. But I
Sorry.
was just the Jägermeister. I used to, at the end of the night, when I was done drinking whatever I drank through the night, Jägermeister, bed.
That was your
Mm-mm.
nightcap, huh? Well, it's
I
like it's
couldn't-
kind of like
can't.
NyQuil, yeah.
Like signature
That is
sign off, you
NyQuil.
know. This is why I be
Mm.
Jaeger bombs though with Red Bull, dude. It's over.
I've never done one.
Oh, dude.
Oh man, I miss so
can put 'em
much.
back.
I don't
But,
think they even
yeah.
had Red Bull when I was drinking that.
I can't. do
I
Jaeger anymore.
really,
Smell of it
really,
just-
really cut down on drinking since Dayton. My marijuana consumption has gone up, and God bless the state of Washington for having just the greatest freaking dispensaries in the world.
Southern California has them too.
And so does Michigan, but Texas is going to be the last state in the
Well,
union.
all that edible
ever
gummy
You
legalized.
know, you know.
What
You,
do you guys,
you
like-
see all these. You see all these CBD shops,
Yeah,
and they're like so close. Like we've got Delta 8 and Delta 4
Yeah.
and all this kind of good.
So-
You know, as soon as they flip the switch, they're gonna have at midnight. They're gonna change all those
Yeah.
CBD stores to dispensaries.
So here
Oh,
I
yeah.
learned something last weekend, not just this past weekend, but the weekend before when I was at the Belton Ham Fest. I was Vern Six was there, and he and I were talking because I have this vape that I bought here in Texas. That's just this sativa vape, but it's THCA. And Vern's like, "What the hell's THCA?" I'm like, "I don't know. It gets me high. I don't care." So it comes to
It does
find
the
out that
job.
THCA, like weed, doesn't
That's why you're
like
supposed to get
get
a
you.
license.
Weed doesn't get you. You know, they say, "Oh, it's the gateway drug." No, it's not. Weed.
Gives you
All weed
munches.
does is make you think
Is he
more
going to
and,
use
and
another
be
term,
more
Shane? Are
creative.
you okay with that advertisement editing stuff?
So
I will see how quickly it gets shut down because
We're
this
just
is
having a
monetized
discussion.
stream. So
We're having an
we're,
adult
we're, we're
discussion
talking
here.
about
So
we're
the-
talking
so
about
the-
those pesky
we're a
things
bunch of
in your
adults.
yard
the
that you
scientists
can't get rid of.
in this community are so smart.
Roundup.
You know, like in high school, we're making bongs out of like 20-ounce bottles and stuff, right? After
2 liter
school.
Coke, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
much for that.
yeah, yeah.
Use an apple.
I mean, you
Sugar-free.
can make a pipe out of a Coke can. You just put a dent, and you
can.
poke some holes in it.
Found that in the
But
back.
so
of
what?
the
So
toilet
what
one.
these potheads did is they figured out they could alter the DNA of it just enough to where it's not THC, it's THCA. But what happens when THCA is combusted? Magically, it combusts and turns into THC. So there's the loophole.
So that's interesting because someone that was in part of our group out in Fiesta was talking about that. They're like, you can buy it in Texas. I was like, no, you can't. And then I found out apparently there was a law that was passed in Texas, which I can guarantee you it will be changed this next go round. There was a law that was passed that says, THCA is completely legal. Don't put fire to it and you're fine. I said, okay. All right, cool. Mike into MAK, thanks for the $4.20.
Another great guy.
We won't find out the results of the monetization of the stream until after the stream posts. So, but I did just get a pop-up that said, now
we were
we
doing legal things in states where it's legal.
That's right.
And Beer Snack hates to write that check. I love it. Beer Snack hates to write that check.
And the show technically is classified as not as for children, so
Right.
we should be okay.
And we're not supposed to talk ham radio here, so what the hell else are we going to talk about? Drugs and alcohol.
There you go.
No sex.
Crack a
just
beer
drugs and
quick.
alcohol and rock and
When that stuff first went legal, what is it, Colorado? Was they one of the first ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I had a friend, him and his brother took a motorcycle trip, and of course they was going to Colorado, and he said, like, as soon as we crossed the state line and rolled into the first town, I thought I was going to fall off my bike.
Oh,
Couldn't
because
even
it was
drive
so
behind people. Yeah.
See, that's how it is out here, and it's not legalized yet. I didn't notice it as bad in Southern California, and it is legal there.
Well, I remember crossing the border into Wisconsin, and it was a cheese shop. I mean, a legit cheese shop, and all the billboards for cheese. So it's been interesting how every state has its thing going on.
Oh yeah, the souvenir shops in California were
Souvenir shops.
Mhm.
Do they still call them head shops?
Wow.
I would imagine so. I don't know.
Yeah, depends on where you are, but yes.
Okay, things mean a lot of different things in today's world than it is in the 70s.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up calling them head shops.
Mhm.
They're head shops.
Vern, the
Need a
stuff
screen?
in Washington that may or may not be sitting here on my bench here, very, very smooth. Very smooth. Just going to throw that out there.
Is there a big market, Mike, out there for the edibles, like the gummy bears, the brownies, the
Oh, dude. Like,
whatever,
you go,
yeah,
it's
the
picture,
lollipops?
Picture going into a liquor store where it's just all liquor and beer, but it's just all medicinal herbs, we'll call them that. They've got flour, they've got edibles, they've got vape, they've got different strains, I mean, it's like
I think what they've done with it is
Awesome.
absolutely insane. What
It's
they've been
so
able to do
awesome.
with the products that they've come up with is fantastic.
Yeah. The problem with the edibles, though, is that they take so darn long to kick in. It's like, I don't want to be, they take about an hour to kick in. And it's like, I don't want to be stoned in an hour. I want to be stoned now. But I also, I quit smoking cigarettes a couple years ago. And I'm doing the vape, which can't be much better, but I mean, anything's better than cigarettes. But I don't want to breathe in any more smoke than I already have in my life. So I switched to the edibles, and then the vapes are
Just clicking the same one.
Go ahead.
instant. So they're
Go ahead,
great.
Joe. I think you're hitting
I'm already off the trigger.
And I'm out of Joe's jurisdiction, so he can't arrest me.
Now, who's going to reach out to Snoop? Thank you, Eric.
And Mike,
No, that'd be great.
Very good, Eric. Very,
I
very
don't
good.
deal with
Eric.
that anymore, so it doesn't matter.
You're what?
anyway. I don't deal with that no more, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, but if
So
someone
it's a
was doing
safe
something
space.
illegal in front of you, you'd still have to react.
Oh, here, I'll do it right now. Hey.
There's just guys
Joe's a
in Texas.
narc. Joe's the narc. The narc. It's all in the hat. There's a camera in the
Yep.
hat now. See?
I think one of
But I
my
will
doors
say-
is unlocked too.
Since the conversation has changed, we're now up to 130 people watching. So apparently it's a popular topic. So
Hey, y'all come over here and watch this.
if you want to learn
Next week,
something,
Next week, we're going to be making lollipops, everybody.
Yeah.
Or ice cream.
Come into our
We-
kitchens. We're all going to have a camera in our kitchens, and we're all going to be making something.
Nope.
John.
Nope.
Yes.
My job doesn't allow it.
Steve's oven is going to be making brownies one way
Negative.
or another.
Negative.
Will this brownie pan antenna?
Yeah, there you go.
As a matter
After
of
it's
fact, though,
Make a
my
good ground plan.
7610 was in Washington this week.
You should have had Mike grab it for you.
I know.
Okay, send it in.
Yeah, I had to send it into ICOM. So.
Is it on its way back?
I have not heard yet.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
no, it's at least
So,
3
no.
days.
Yeah.
Oh, and
What's
he,
wrong
he
with
sent, he sent it to ICOM, so who knows?
Hey-
The video output stopped working. The waterfall stopped working. It was off frequency.
Oh,
I took a
geez.
lightning strike over a year ago.
No, it's the stove.
Oh.
Mike, he worked me at a POTA park. I'm activating. He's telling me I'm, 3 or 4 KC off.
Not that much.
We
you
all
don't say
need
that
to
to the-
adjust to Steve's drift.
Yes. Yes.
Get that receive
Yeah.
incremental tuning out.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, damn, I got to change my POTA spot.
So this whole time we thought it was the radio messing with the stove, but I'm convinced the stove took out the 7610.
You might be right.
That's what happens when you
So
keep that thing on 10 meters all the time.
the oven said, hold my beer. I'm the king here in this house. I'm the king of this house.
We have the best folks in our chat. There's
Dota.
we have HHOTA, we have HOTA, we have Dota. I mean, there's Walmarts on the air, so why can't we have dispensaries on the air?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what they're calling them now instead of head shops. They're dispensaries.
Yeah.
Spencer.
They got to class it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you just get the Girl Scouts to set out in front of them and you're good to go.
You're good. That
Oh, dude.
sell out those
killing.
cookies.
Yeah,
They
no
would
kidding.
make a killing. Or just open a sweet shop right next to it, like a bakery or a cookie shop or something. Ice cream,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Jody's got the idea. Is K8WEED taken?
Very good.
That's too long of a
Very
call
good.
sign, but I
Yeah.
like where your head's at.
I was going to say, KW8ED, maybe?
Yeah.
KW3ED.
There you go.
Stay away from ED though, guys. Stay away from the ED.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
Ed?
yeah.
Why are you hating
Don't talk
on
about
Ed?
Ed.
I
That
was going
way.
to say, we like Ed.
We like Ed, but not ED.
Oh, okay.
I think
That's
Ah,
erectile
see.
dysfunction for those of you. in
And
the
we're
chat.
not going to talk about that on the air. We're just going to continue to talk about dispensaries.
I was going to say, we're going to take it to 80 meters. Is that where we're going?
no, not till next month.
No.
Bring your gummies with you.
Yeah, right.
Next month is 80 meter November.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shane, I thought you said it was December.
Oh, wait,
Coincides.
we got another month to go.
Well, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
We're going down
There
a dark
goes
rabbit
Mike.
hole here.
This is why we bring Mike on. This is why we bring Mike on.
No, November is no nut November, so it would make sense to get on 80 meters and complain.
Yes.
I
We
thought it
all
was
grouchy.
no shave November.
Yeah,
I
we're
haven't
changing
heard
it.
no nut November.
No, no.
Ah.
Oh God.
Meanwhile,
We're
Mike's the one with the carrot
I'm-
over his shoulder.
I'm gonna make it.
I was just, I had to take all the shit off the floor because I just ran my robot to clean.
Oh my gosh.
There's like 20 pounds of cat hair from the last week of me not being here, so
Mm.
had to send the Roomba around.
Eric, no. That's
No.
December. That'll be a topic for a show in December.
Oh, God.
I'm going to film as much of it as I
but I'm looking
can.
forward to this December thing.
Well, so for those that weren't around, I went and had my annual physical, and I made the statement that everyone should be getting an annual physical. And my doctor told me, he says, you just turned 46. So what did you know that they lowered the age for colonoscopies? They need to be done at age 45 now instead of 50. So he was like, he says, so I'm going to give you a choice. You can either, how do I make this as ungraphic as
I'll
possible?
stay. You
No,
want me
no,
to
no,
stay?
no, no,
No,
no,
you
no.
want
I
me
got
to-
it. I got it, Izzo.
Okay.
Y'all know what a BOTA box is? So
Yeah,
there's
a
a
litter
couple
box.
you can
litter box.
have a litter box mailed to you, and you can do your thing and mail it back, and that's called ColaGuard. Or you go in and just have them put a camera in your butt.
But this is serious stuff. We all got to do this stuff.
I agree.
Serious stuff.
So me and me being as frank with my doctor, I was like, "Do I really have a choice?" And he goes, "No." So I'm going to go ahead and send you a referral in. So I got called a little bit. I've had my initial appointment today, and I love the ladies, the reception ladies, because they were going through what is going to be expected of me when I start taking the medication, because I have to take one at 6 p.m. and one at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, Shane,
and they told me, whatever you do, don't leave your house, and you should probably go just camp out in the bathroom for a couple of hours.
Did they say, "Hey, we know you. We see you on YouTube every Tuesday
No,
night.
thank
You're
God.
that famous guy."
No,
So I have a question. So when they so they're going to put a camera
Yep.
up your butthole.
Yep.
Is it like the dentist where they ask you what flavor toothpaste you want? Do they give you different flavors of lube, or how does that work? Like cinnamon or lemon or
I
apple?
shit you not.
Candy
This is
Literally.
what my doctor
you not.
said. My doctor said, he said, "Well, here's what's going to happen." He said, "I'm going to have you come in at 6:15. I'm going to give you an IV, and I'm going to give you lots of fun drugs." And he said, "I'll see you on the other side."
Nice.
That's what
Now,
he
this
told
is what
me.
you're going to do. Now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do the prep on a Tuesday night. And
No.
you're gonna
God, no.
yes, yes.
Well, what's
You're
funny
gonna
is
go-
I'm scheduled for Friday the 13th of all.
You're
things.
going to make it
nice.
on a Wednesday. You're going to do it, and you're just going to be in the bathroom with the bathroom door shut. That's all. That's all you got to do. And you can mute yourself when it's appropriate.
Just take
Yeah,
your
you
wireless
can,
mic.
you can remote in to Steve's station from the bathroom while you're there.
do
FD8
We'll
the
go
whole
on
day.
80 meters.
And the ladies that were giving me all the instructions, I was like, "So what?" I said, "Can you compare this to anything?" And she goes, "Have you seen the movie The Purge?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Yeah, just think of that, and you're gonna enjoy this." So
You might want to install a bidet.
I have one. I've had one for
good.
years.
Okay.
Because when everyone else was crying about I don't have any toilet paper, I'm sitting there going, "Ain't got that problem."
Yeah. I turn 45 next month, but I don't have health insurance, so I don't need to get a colonoscopy.
You should.
It's
It's for your health.
It's not going to happen. Do I go to Canada?
Yeah, you could.
Oh, Molson will hook you up. It's just like arming a cow.
I was about to say he's got the gloves.
He'll have the big gloves that go up to your.
He just doesn't have any of the good drugs.
Mike, it's
They don't have lube in Canada though.
Yeah. Here's some maple syrup.
Oh,
I think weed is legal up there though, so I'll have something to calm the nerves.
Lots of
So
lots of edibles.
So yeah, that's my adventure coming up, and welcome to my late 40s, as I call it now.
Are you going to make a video of that?
I should. I probably.
I mean, you're not making ham radio videos, but I feel that's very relevant to ham radio.
yeah, it is.
It's not. It's very ham radio adjacent.
There you go, Greg. GoFundMe for Mike's colonoscopy. That's the saddest GoFundMe ever.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
I have to go to the dentist. I swear to God, I got to go to the dentist next Wednesday. So one end or the other, we're all going to get healthy around here.
I don't mind going to the dentist.
One of my coworkers said he had to have an endoscopy and a colonoscopy at the same time, and he was hoping that the cameras would meet in the middle.
They're playing tummy sticks. Wow.
Oh.
That's funny. Misha says Friday the 13th is only bad if you're a Templar Knight or Justin Trudeau.
I don't get either of those. I'm not smart enough to know what that means.
John's got it. He's on the roll. Colonoscopy's on the air.
John's
I'm not going to be on the air.
John is hot tonight.
My question
you can
is
only do that on 80 meters, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the camera resonant on 80 meters?
We're not gonna find out.
Well, it probably shoots in 1080, so
Yeah,
Probably
can you
higher
imagine the
resolution
day?
than that.
Can you imagine him saying,
4K.
"Yeah, back in the day, we only had 480 and this and that." You know,
Mhm.
now it's I just
Probably-
remember when I had my done, they didn't want me eating blueberries, grape juice. Did you get the list of things to stay away
Yes.
from?
Yep.
It's
Huh.
very
You can't-
interesting.
You can't have
Strawberries.
anything that's red,
Red,
green,
blue,
or
brown.
blue.
That could throw
Yeah.
off the test.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-huh.
See, Joe
Yes.
knows.
It could be some false indicators.
Right
there.
now,
See?
and guess what? You
Joe
want to
Brett
get
knows
that
all
test
about
done once. Get it done once.
I
Follow
don't.
the
I just
instructions.
know I don't want the color red come in any results that the doctor is looking from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got me all uncomfortable and stuff.
Eric says the real session is can we tune up Shane on 80 meters?
Ah, very good, Eric. Very good.
The camera wire could be the counterpoise.
No, it can't.
And would still turn on.
I'm thinking that would be
Steve's
that would be the resonant wire.
Good God, y'all trying to kill me.
Yeah, would that be
You
that
make
be
me look like,
considered an
We'll
elevated
turn it
wire?
down to 20 watts.
Is that an elevated radio or a ground radio? Which one is that class?
Probably be Envis because it'd be low to the ground and it'd be horizontal.
So he would.
And I'm probably going to be on a metal table.
End fed
Yeah.
half wave. That would be Shane would be the end fed half wave.
Eric says Will Shane antenna.
Mhm.
Oh, I would sell all my money just to be there for that one.
We'll use the G90. It'll tune it up.
My ICOM,
Yes, it will.
my ICOM tuner. My
I've already had one.
8705 will tune it
I've
up.
already had one RF burn. I don't need another one.
Oh, it's only 20 watts. Come on.
The 8 watts lit me up.
Oh, you'll be so drugged up you won't know. You'll be
Yeah,
sending-
my TDH8, my TID radio, the H8. If I'm on a wireless mic and I key up and my hand's on the back of it, it'll jump across the battery terminals.
Shane,
Fun.
if we tuned you up, and made a contact, would you send that to Logbook of the World?
No.
No,
Shit,
you want to send a QSL card out for that one?
Yeah.
So N1JUR says, who gets to check SWR? And I just thought SWR does not stand for standing wave ratio. It stands for shit will radiate. Not if there's peanuts, though.
Oh.
What is this with me and things falling off a table? Come on now.
Uh-huh.
It happens.
See,
Shit
that's
hap-
why I
shit
love
happens.
this family that joins us every Tuesday night. That's why we love you. Thank you, guys.
All 120 of them.
All 120 of them, and they're dwindling fast. I got to get approval from. Go ahead, Joe Brett. Push your hand against the battery contact.
I'm on the contact. Yeah.
and speak.
Why do you have to speak? It's FM.
Well, it's not modulated. This ain't AM. There, you mean speak? Let me check what
I think
frequency
one of
we
my
did
did.
it,
Audio.
I think
What
one of my
frequency were you on,
TVs
Shane?
did that.
I was on a non-ham frequency.
Oh,
Well, that's why
Channel
you got
75, Get
zapped.
ready. See?
You were breaking the law. That's why you got zapped.
you
Yeah,
might want to put it
said
in private
no.
chat.
Oh, I'm not going to give out the whole thing. And I
I
have the
gotta bring my
license for the
radio out.
frequency anyway.
All right, so let's try
Guys,
the.
I got to bring my radio out here.
I was about to say, Joe Brett's got a dozen of them. I was on 153 megahertz.
He's on that balloon frequency.
K5YVY. Nothing on that one.
Balloons talk on 153 megahertz.
We do.
Commercial band.
We
Oh,
have
is
a
that what it is?
commercial
Okay.
frequency. Yep. All of our, the whole group is all on. We have 2 frequencies that are allocated to us.
I don't know where the other one's
Gotcha.
at.
But the BFA, the Balloon Federation of America, has their own set of frequencies that anyone who is a member of BFA is allowed to use also.
Ah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's not on there.
No?
That's AM.
Yeah, I know.
Joe Brett's
Yeah.
trying to get an RF bite.
I mean, I held it for like 10 seconds.
I'm not going to test this one again.
Yeah. Shane, just turn the power down. That'd be fine.
Or I just leave it clipped up on the upright so I don't have to touch it.
I was gonna say, figure out which one the negative is and just run that to the metal wires of the balloon. Increase your ground plane.
I'm waiting for Joe Brett to get a 9-volt battery and put it on his tongue.
Been there, done that.
So with the BFA, we have 151 megahertz, 158 megahertz, 451 megahertz, 456 megahertz. Yeah, 2 channels on 456.
Joe
So we
Brett,
have
what did you get
six
there?
frequencies to choose from.
I like that.
Business.
No, I'm not minding my business. I like that. Where can one get that? Or do I have to go to Amazon and make one myself?
I think you
I'll have
got
to
to
ask
talk to
Greg.
the Shacken brothers.
I like that.
Pretty
That is
nice.
pretty nice.
I
Mhm.
like it.
Was that
That's
made
very cool.
specifically for the SM7B?
Yeah, you can get a stick.
As a matter of fact,
That's why I
Little
got this
hot tongue.
microphone.
I was about to
Little
say you
hot tongue on the
upgraded
back of that thing.
microphones.
Yeah, I've had this for a few months now.
What do you think of it versus your
I
other?
mean, I'm a Shure fanboy.
Mhm.
For sure.
I'm wearing Shure in-ear monitors.
Damn.
All my wireless guitar, everything, all my microphones are Shure. And I was using a Beta 58 for years for ham radio, and I've always wanted an SM7B, and I got one for a smoking hot deal. Actually, Greg K6EGG sold this to me because he didn't like it. He uses the EV, what is it, the 3800? I forget what mic he uses, but
oh wow,
he didn't like this, so I texted him. I'm like, dude, if you want to get rid of that mic, I'll buy it. So
there you go.
yep.
So do you run it through? Do you have to have like a cloud lift or anything for it, or does it run through your board?
Oddly, I don't. I didn't buy the cloud lifter. I bought a different version, just a different preamp, and I did buy a new mixer because the mixer I was using I've had since high school. So I just bought a cheap Behringer Xenix 12 channel something or other because I wanted USB because I was using a this thing.
Wow, he's
I
growing.
was
That's not a
using
bad idea.
I was
Right.
using this. This is an audio
Advertising.
interface to go from my old mixer that didn't have a USB to this, and then into my computer. And I split the audio 2-way mono. I don't have to do that now because I have a USB out on the mixer, and I run that to the computer, and then I run just the left side into my radio with a foot switch. So I use this mic for the radio and for
There you go.
live streams. So yeah.
It only shocks you if you're salty.
I was gonna say, Mike, is that an M audio?
I'm sorry?
Which one was that? Was that the M audio or?
That audio interface, that was a
Yeah.
Behringer UMC 404, I think.
Okay.
That's a Behringer. Behringer makes good stuff. They're cheap. They're inexpensive. They're not, it's not pro grade stuff, but for what I'm doing here, it's fine. I think the mixer was $180, so that's not bad.
Yep.
For mixers,
the ra-
that's very cheap.
Does the radio like the Shure mic, or is it?
No. So anyway, to answer your question, so I don't use the preamp. The preamps on this mixer are good enough for this microphone. The mic gain on the 7610 is set at 5%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy
Wow,
crap.
that's a pretty strong.
Yeah. And I was
okay.
talking with Greg, and he's like, the impedance of the mixer going into the mic on the radio, total mismatch. But I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I've been doing it forever.
Mike, let me guess. Compression is off. 5% and compression is off. Zero compression.
No, I have this mixer has compression, so I've got
Okay.
a little bit of compression on the mixer, and then I do use compression on the 7610 as well.
So like my setup going through a USB, so the audio to my radio is actually coming from the computer, and mic gain doesn't matter because it's going in through the back. It's not going.
Yeah,
Maybe
Greg
for the
said
front.
something about there being port in the back, but I'm not a computer guy, so I'm not smart enough to figure out how to do that.
Well, mine's going straight through USB from the computer from the mic to the computer to the radio, and the compression.
You're not using a 7B though, are you? You're
No.
using the one with the USB back here, right?
PreSonus.
Oh, that's not even a Shure mic you're using?
No, it's PreSonus.
Oh, it looked like it. All right, well, screw me then. But whatever, it worked.
That's it. Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, those mics do sound really good.
When
I was
Izzo
just
said
curious how
something
they
about
sound on the 7610.
when he said something about the compression, I listened to myself on WebSDR, and it's got the waterfall scope.
Right. Right.
And I got to notice him one day when I was doing my audio test on Web SDR. I was going a little more than 3 kilohertz. I could see the little splatter outside. I turned compression off, and it's perfectly 3 kilohertz solid line. You know, I'm like, okay,
Interesting.
So, I mean,
That's an excellent question, because does XLR versus USB, is there a difference with the audio going through to the eventually making it to the radio? Does the radio care? Any smart people out there who can answer my question? Because I don't know that. I don't know.
I mean,
well, XLR,
Heil,
you still got your dynamic and electric condensers, right? You had. I don't think it matters what the connection is because you can.
I was gonna say Heil makes a cable.
Yeah, that's what I'm using. I'm going XLR out from the mixer into the Heil adapter. Just go to DX Engineering and type in Heil XLR adapter. But you got to be careful because there's 4-pin and there's 3-pin XLRs. Yeah. So I'm using all 3-pin, and then whatever the connector is on the 7610. It's the same for the 7300. Whatever.
Another thing I like about using the USB. It sucks because I can't just turn the radio on, and when somebody hits my ham alert, like if I rushed out here and wanted to get mic real quick, I got to wait for my computer to cut on because that's where it's getting audio from.
You turn.
So you got to wake that up. Okay, right.
Turn it off. Yeah, it's power bill, but do what I can. Penny here, penny there. But it doesn't matter using USB. It doesn't matter if it's a electric condenser or a dynamic. It don't care that way because it's coming from the computer. Don't care.
So Rick's Ham Shack says XLR impedance is usually lower than a typical radio's input.
Yes.
But that's
so
where
I think that's Mike was saying about the difference between the impedance mismatch that hasn't caused him a problem.
Well, Greg is like an audio engineer, so he was telling me all this stuff that I wasn't trying to hear. I just want it to work. But there's a port on the back. I forget what it is, but on the back of the 7610 that he's using to run his audio into his mixer. And that's probably why he sounds so great on his live streams. But I don't know what it is, and it's above my head. So if
you haven't seen Greg's live stream, you should. Greg has beautiful audio. But I think he uses, like for live streaming, he uses Sonobus, which is the same audio system that Callum uses for all his.
But he's using a really, really nice mixer too.
That too.
I forget what kind it is, but it's like Allen and Heath kind of caliber. It might be an Allen and Heath.
Oh,
yeah, where I'm like Behringer land. So.
Greg normally goes live after our stream, so if you want to catch K6EGG.
Sam says Greg's going live tonight. Yep. I'm like, I don't know a night Greg don't go live.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Not too many.
This is also true.
Every night.
And it's usually a thumbnail like this. Or,
Yeah.
The good night stream.
He'll talk you to sleep.
I'm trying to catch up on the chat here.
Sometimes he'll turn that Discord audio on. You hear Sam yapping.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That's brave of him, but he's well behaved.
Vern says he uses a Scarlett 2i2 with a Heil PR40.
Well, Vern, you would, but to actually use the Scarlett, you got to use your radio.
Burn!
Shots fired.
He's cussing me right now.
For once, it is not me. I feel so privileged.
Joe Brett can get away with that.
I give it 45 seconds before Joe's phone goes off.
I just put it on silent.
The man was getting ready to give us a chat, some funds here, and now you just. He said
he's going to send us a bill now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Everybody got to buy coffee.
Instead of a donation, he's going to send you a bill.
Well, the nice thing is I just sent his coffee link over to a friend of mine that's looking to do a fundraiser. So
there you go. Good. Yeah, those Scarletts are nice, though. I bought the Behringer because it had four channels, and I'm like, well, hey, I could use this for music and like recording stuff and overdubbing, and literally never did that.
Hey, but at least the functionality's there. Look at that. See,
look at that. Hi, I'm not available to speed
right
now.
What did you just say? I was in the room. I just heard it, just barely. What else you said?
I said something about how much I love Vern and Renee and
Yeah,
just.
okay, Dick.
Great guy.
Do y'all remember what I said?
said Vern has-
Yeah, you'd have to get the radio to
To
actually
use the
that.
Scarlet, you said you use that Scarlet. I said, actually, to use the Scarlet, you got to use your radios. And I looked straight at the camera so you'd feel the love.
I see how you are.
You're too tall for me to like put you in a headlock and give you one of those little head noogies or whatever they call it. So
So you just kick him in the knees.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. If that's the worst you said, I'm okay.
okay, I love you too.
Well, we can go
and
deeper.
Tell,
Right? Give us a minute.
Talk to y'all later.
tell chat and
No, keep
everybody.
him on the
hello.
stream. I want to talk to
Hello,
her.
everybody.
All right, we'll see. You gotta be careful with that guy, man.
He's quick.
He's
He's
got
quick.
some techniques. You got to watch your back.
Oh yeah.
Joe Brett on speed dial. He's got that Joe Brett speed dial.
Mm.
Yep.
If somebody knocks on my door right now, I'm like, I won't need a colonoscopy. Oh my God, is it Bird?
Uh-huh.
Vern's here.
But
Oh,
you have Vern's
goodness.
kryptonite, so it's okay.
It's very true.
Mama Noel will take care of him.
Yep. Vern
Yeah.
Kryptonite is pushing him slightly and he breaks. That boy is fragile.
I was gonna say she may have to stand on the table, but
Right.
Right. There's a picture of that, right?
there is.
Hey, what's
Oh,
the
you
temperature in
almost broke.
Texas tonight?
78
what are we gonna start
degrees
talking
in
about ham
Dallas.
radio again?
We got a
Yeah.
freeze warning for the morning, man. The wind is
What?
whipping.
What?
It's cold. It's
Wow.
cold outside, man.
It's 81.8
cold-
degrees here.
The cold front came through about 20 minutes ago here.
Mm.
So let me see where we're at currently. My computer says 78, but I think it's lying.
Yeah, we're at 51.
I'm at 58. So let me find my weather station.
No, nope, 79. And it's supposed to be 58 tonight. Tomorrow night's supposed to be
we're-
52.
Ooh.
Excited
We're at
about
I'm gonna
that.
have to get the
58.
jacket out.
Going down
No.
to 40.
I had to wear a hoodie the last week. It was terrible.
Yeah.
You didn't take your hockey sweater?
No.
Well, we woke up
it
about.
got down to like you can see your breath at night cold
Ooh.
in Washington. I
Wow.
was like, ugh. But it was
I don't
actually
know
really
when-
nice. It was sunny most of the days I was there, so which is rare. Even in the rainforest, we drove through the rainforest
yeah.
and all through Olympic National Park and went up to some place called Hurricane Ridge. This big overlook. It was really pretty. So
That's funny. Hurricane
Yep.
Ridge on the West Coast.
right.
It's visiting up there. I've got a whole bunch of hikes that I want to do, but the Pacific Northwest has been on my radar.
Well, you know, if you join the Ham Radio Adventures Club, you can go there. It's actually pretty cheap because there's like 5 rooms in each house. You get your own room, and because there's so many, well, it's military housing. It's like Navy housing, and someone's in the military, so we get to use these houses. So they're stupid cheap. So it was only like I think I paid $300. We all pay like $300 for the week
For the week?
for
Nice.
rooms.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's nothing. It's nothing.
Nice.
And that includes
Valet service? Valet
that
service?
includes no. Although I was chaperoned because I didn't have a car. But that includes the steak dinner at the restaurant, and then that also
Wow.
includes the money for the pizza night. And then I think my flight was like $300 and some odd dollars, and then I spent like $100 on groceries on the way out there. I didn't bring any alcohol because weed.
A
So
lot less hangovers.
like under $1,000 I spent on this trip, but I bought months ago I bought the ticket and gave my money, so it's like it's all
Mike,
water
how
in the
many
fridge
times
at
have
this
you
point.
gone out there? Was this your
This
second
is my
time?
third time.
Your third time.
I
Any
didn't go
special-
last year because I was not financially as stable as I am now.
Any special foods you like out there versus back home? Is there anything different that you like that you can only find out there that you like? that you look forward
So
to?
I
now?
should have made a video. We were going to. There's a few parks south of where we are, and on the way out there, we passed. It was called Ruby's Oysters.
Mm.
So raw oysters are one of my absolute favorite foods in the world.
I love them. Absolutely.
And
I
I'm
do.
like, I saw that sign and we're heading towards the park. I'm like, we have to stop there on the way back. And it's literally right on the bay. And like, that's where all the oyster boats come in. I mean, there's oyster traps everywhere, whatever they're called. So we didn't know what it was. So we're like, is this a restaurant? It turns out it was just like a market. Just like a fish market, but they had a bunch of oysters. I was going to buy like a dozen oysters and just come back and throw them over the fire and cook them that way. But then another guy, Jesse, that we were with, what the hell is this called? AI7RK. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong. But he saw these little oyster shooters. It was two raw oysters in a little plastic ramekin with cocktail sauce in it. They were $5 each. So I got 4 of those. And they had this little bench like overlooking the water, and I went and sat down and I just slurped down the raw oysters real quick.
Oh yeah.
Didn't have gooey duck. Seafever's talking about gooey duck. We were talking about gooey duck yesterday on the drive back to SeaTac, and I would love to try gooey duck. Gooey duck, basically think of like a really big dick. That's kind of what a gooey duck looks like. It's a really huge clam with a phallus sticking out of it. And they look delicious. But apparently they're really expensive, so we didn't.
Oh my
we didn't do
God,
that.
you weren't kidding.
Yeah. Show a picture.
Bring it up.
They look like a huge
Share
dick.
your screen.
I don't know.
Can we
if I
share
can-
the screen?
I don't wanna- yeah, I can't. That looks gross.
Or do we have to do this on our own?
No,
you
here
can
we
show
go.
it.
I'll show you. It's
This is food. Let's
it's
all be
kind of-
mature
it's
here.
Kind
Yeah,
of
it's like
We're
it's a
all,
clam.
we're all adults.
Really? It's
we're all
us.
adults.
I
We're all
don't
adults.
quite understand.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Mm.
Chris, damn you. We're gonna have to talk about that tomorrow night over beer.
We did stop at Dick's Burgers, though. I did shove a couple dicks in my mouth.
You're
Yeah.
trying to get us demonetized.
And it says Dick's Instant Service. So you walk up there, you order a couple dicks,
This is
and you
I
eat
could
'em.
never eat this.
Oh, I would.
Why?
I'm totally into that. I love seafood.
I do. I love seafood too, but I just looking at this, there's
Do
no
you just
way that I
take the
could
whole
eat this.
thing
Well, you
and
probably
put it
don't
in your
have
mouth,
to-
or do
You probably don't
or
have
you
to
cut
eat it all at once. You might could cut it up. I think they cook them, though. I don't think you'd eat those raw.
I know what the intro to
Maybe
the
you-
podcast is going to be.
Yep.
Should I
Too bad it's
just
not on
stop?
video
Should
intro.
I just stop right there? Because I don't want to get us in trouble. I think I should.
Hour and
just stop.
18 minutes in.
Nah, we're not going to get in trouble. We're talking about
there it is.
nature. We've literally been talking about natural things this whole time.
Mark,
Mark,
Yeah, there you go.
bring her back
I've
around.
never heard of these things.
You put tartar sauce on the tip and then you lick it off.
Jesus.
Dang.
Because I've had the quahogs, and those are big. Those are big, but this is something totally.
Yeah.
James, my apologies to your XYL.
Yeah, I really wanted to have some gooey duck. I did not even think about it until the last day. I mean, I didn't. Mike's girlfriend,
Okay,
Jenny,
so
thought of it.
hold on. So okay, let me reshare this because it's not going to let me do this. This StreamYard is stupid, even though they charge us double the price now.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, the StreamYard price has gone ridiculous.
That's awful.
Mm.
Which means everybody else will follow
See,
suit.
I could do that
There you
because
go.
then it doesn't look
Oh,
like
yeah.
that thing that we saw in the photo.
That looks
You know what that
delicious.
looks like? Scungio.
So
That's
this
nothing
is
more than scungio.
this is gooey duck ceviche. So
I would be
I could-
all
I could-
about that.
I could do
$55
that.
bucks.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could do that.
Yeah,
No.
That looks
I
good.
want that. That looks like squid. I love squid too.
Right,
Yeah.
that's squid. Scungio.
I don't want to see how the stuff's made. That's,
I don't want to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, not really. I
No.
wonder if it's
I'm
salty.
I'm going to go to the
Yeah,
little Caesars
salad.
or something.
The Rocky Mountain oysters.
The secret is you got to clip them real high.
Oh, wow. Why the hell I keep hanging out with you?
You're bad influence.
Oh, Jesus. Here it goes.
Hopefully we didn't miss this. I noticed Richard. Did we acknowledge Richard? Richard,
No.
thanks for the 12 months, buddy. A 1080 camera would be resonant on 10 and 80, I think. So,
Makes sense.
yeah.
And
I would
10
think
through
they
80.
would shoot in 2K though, because they're number 2. You know.
Ah,
But
4K. They want to see it twice.
Yeah. Well, they
Just
see it
wanted to
going
make
in.
sure
They
I
see
didn't
it
miss
going
that.
out. Yeah.
Why don't they just use the Insta 360?
They find a gooey. What if they find a
Because-
gooey duck up there?
So, Mike, what kind of food do you like out there on the West Coast?
Mostly bivalves that look like dicks. No, I don't know. So the oysters up there
Now
were really
that's an
different than
intro
the
to the
oysters
podcast.
than the oysters that I would get growing up in Florida. Clams are really good. When I lived in New Jersey, unfortunately, I did go clamming with one of the contractors that I became friends with out there, and the like just raw clams out. I know it sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Raw clams out of the waters of New Jersey.
No, I've done that before.
Hey.
I've done
Epic.
that. Yeah.
Oh my God. So good.
Yes.
So good.
You walk very carefully when you feel them. You go down.
Well,
and grab
we
them.
had these metal rakes.
You have the rake.
So
Okay.
yeah, you go through low tide and you just dig
Yep.
through the
Mhm.
muck and
Yep.
yeah. But
Yep.
yeah, so like we didn't I mean I just bought shit food because it's just, you know, what are you gonna do? Because there's only so I basically bought like a couple dozen eggs and like a bunch of bacon. So I'd have bacon and eggs in the morning and then we'd go off and do whatever. But yeah, wasn't not really there for the cuisine so much.
What
It's
radios
just
did
the
you
ham
bring?
radio.
What HF radio did you bring? Did you
I
bring
brought
an
my
HF radio?
I brought my 705 and the Pac 10 NFED with the K8MRD mod and the
Mhm.
K8MRD carbon fiber mast and a new radio that I just got that I bought in May that just came the day before I left. I bought the QMX from QRP
Okay.
Labs, so I have that now.
What'd
So
you
I
think
brought
of
that
that?
out. That's what I was doing FT8 on. It's a cool radio. It needs to be tweaked when you start playing with it. It was
Right.
receiving very, very low audio on FT8 and on a Mac. You can't. You got to use PuTTY, which is some Windows thing, to get into the terminal of the QMX
Emulator.
Yeah, yeah, and snow cones changed the audio things in the QMX and raised them, so it actually works now. But then my 705 for some reason isn't working on FT8 now, and it was working on Monday when I left. I almost didn't bring the QMX because I was having issues with it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be with a bunch of computer nerds. They can probably figure it out, and they did. But now for some reason the 705 is being a dick. So
I was going to say, but
I
you
don't
got
Just blame
access to Frank.
I can't blame Frank because I'm using a Mac, and it works with every freaking radio that I own. I've got like 8 different radios configurations on my MacBook Air that I use for portable, and yeah, Mac terminal. That's not the answer, but thanks for trying. Yeah, we tried that. Shit, what was I saying? I don't know.
There you go, Steve.
I saw
But
that.
it doesn't matter because the bands were crap. So I started editing a video today, but I just didn't feel like doing anything because I have been traveling for frickin' ever. So I kind of just took today easy, but I'll have it edited tomorrow. We did a POTA activation, rather unique one. So I'll have that video out
Ooh.
tomorrow.
Mm.
And it's
Now the
on
QMX.
on the beach. It's not with the
The
QMX.
QMX. The QMX. Did you use it only on FT8 or did you use it for sideband?
No, so the QMX doesn't have sideband yet. So it does CW and it does digital. They've been teasing the idea of a firmware update that will allow it to do single sideband,
Okay.
which is one of the main reasons I bought it. I really the main reason I bought it was because it's like $150. Do not buy the GPS dongle with it. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
I
so
thought
just
it
don't
came
do
with that. Okay, I thought it came
No,
with that
no.
with that upload already. Okay.
No, it's not. It's not been developed yet. Probably because
Oh,
they're so
my
busy
bad.
making the radios that they just don't have time to do the firmware,
Hmm.
which is fine. I mean, I get it. They're a small business. I understand. But at some point, I mean, it's just a firmware thing. You know, there's a microphone on the damn thing, and you don't use a microphone for CW, and you don't use a microphone for FT8. So It's got the hardware. It just needs a firmware update. But it's a really cool little thing. I mean, it's literally the size of a deck of cards, and it puts out 5-6 watts, and it's really freaking cool. So I basically bought it just so I could have like a 1 pound POTA challenge thing. But it's perfect for traveling. It's got a weird voltage though. Like the instructions specifically say, do not do digital on this over 12 volts. So all our lithium iron phosphate batteries are out. So I brought a buck converter with me and a little 3 amp hour BioNO. So I would reduce the voltage down to, I don't know, 11.5 or something like that. But then I got some 18650 cells while I was out there. And I'll put 3 of those in series, which will still be higher than 12 volts. I think it'll be like 12. I think they're like 12.6 if you put 3 in series when they're charged. They got 3.7 is the nominal voltage. I think they charge to 4.2 if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So the little thing, they're probably sitting on my front porch. I couldn't buy 1 BMS. I had to buy 5, but they were only $9 for 5 of them. Oh, and then I bought the little holders that'll put the batteries in series. So I'm just going to wire up. I'll make a video of it to make a little 3-cell battery pack. But I've got the batteries that I have are 30. They're like the max of 18650 cells. They're 3600 milliamp hour. So I have a 3.6 amp hour 18650 pack that I can run with it, hopefully. So yeah. So I mean, it's a cool radio. It's built well. It does the thing. I made contacts with it, but yeah, I don't know why they set the volume on it so high or so low. I mean, WSJTX was only receiving it like 30 dB, and you kind of want to be around like 60. Mm-hmm. And on a Mac, yeah, that just wasn't happening. And like we're trying to find like PuTTY emulators for Mac, and it's like, well, you can do it, but you need to do like 21 other steps first. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I have a Windblows computer here in the shack that I use for. I mean, there's some things you just can't do on a Mac, so things like that. But I don't need to do it anymore because it's already done. But it's unfortunate.
Mike, I gotta ask you a question.
Ask me.
Your push up mass. Mm-hmm. There have been a lot out there since you and I. Listen, I followed you 6-7 years ago. You have used. We all have. We've all used various types of push up mass.
Thanks, Bob.
We'll say anywhere from 8. Bye, Bob. From 18 to 22 feet extend, any particular one, or give me like the top 3 that you like. Ooh. If you had to, the top 3, top 5 that or do you think they're all basically the same now?
Well, they're not.
Or do you see a difference? Okay, that's what I.
Well, there's definitely a difference in all of them. Absolutely. So, I mean, the main ones that I use now are the ones that I developed with Gigaparts, the carbon fiber. I've got the 20-foot, which is what I took to Washington. And I also have the prototype of the 10-meter one that has been my main mast now. So obviously I'm going to say those because they're carbon fiber and that's what I wanted. And now they exist because they're lighter and they're just as strong as so I put the 10-meter carbon fiber mast. I had the wire up and comparing that to the 10-meter like DX Commander Expedition or the 10-meter Pac-10 that I have, they collapse down to 2 feet.
Right.
They're the same in terms of strength, but they're physically smaller and lighter. But I do love the DX Commander and the Pac-10 10-meter mass. Those are great. And my recent purchase at Dayton, I bought the 12-meter spider beam mast. Dude, those spider beam masts are no joke. They are freaking incredible. They're they're very robust. They're very durable. So yeah, but I mean, I don't really have any masts that I don't like. It's just like radios or antennas. They all have their different use cases. So if like when I was filming the video, when I was trying to hit the APRS repeater, I brought out that 12-meter spider beam mast. I brought it out to Huntsville as well, just to have, so I could put a dipole or a J-pole up it. You're not going to do that with the carbon fiber mass or the 10-meter mass. There's just too much weight when you put coax or even a dipole. When you put coax up in the air and you have to get coax up to the feed point, don't use a carbon fiber. Like people are emailing me, they're breaking their carbon fiber mass. I'm like, well, duh.
That's why.
You just put a freaking
it's too much weight bearing. Right.
The 20-foot carbon fiber mast with a Faraday and RG8X. It's too much weight. And I said in my videos, these are designed for lightweight applications. Are they tough? Absolutely. You could pull the hell on the things.
Mhm.
But if you put too much weight on them, and the same thing with a fiberglass mast, they're going to break. So if you're wanting to put up a dipole or something, or a J-pole in the air, you need a more robust antenna. Even if you say, well, I can use RG316, well, of course you can. It's a much smaller, lighter coax, but you also have incredible losses at VHF and UHF frequencies in that coax. I mean, it's at least 2 dB for 50 feet of RG316 at like 146 megahertz. I mean, it's stupid. But if you're getting your antenna that high up, do it. But I would just use, I'm primarily using an end-fed half-wave with 26 gauge wire. Very, very light. That's what these masts are for. So be easy with it. And it's not the mast's fault. The mast works great. If I haven't broken it already, it ain't a product thing.
Something.
But people want to blame the product and not take accountability.
Well, they're not using it for what it's intended for.
Exactly. So
I will tell anybody. So I have a couple of them. I have like 5 or 6. I have the Spider. I got the one from Gigaparts, Soda Beams. I had this one call from MGS. I swear, if you guys want to do something a little, and you're going to have some weight up there, those MGS masks, you're going to pay a little bit more. But I wanted it. They are fantastic. They're made for heavy duty usage. Go to their website, look at the different variations. Don't call me or tell me, hey, it's costing me more money. Then that product line is not for you. But just remember, when you use something else and it breaks, come back to the show at an hour and 32 minutes in and say, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to tell me I'm right. You don't have to tell me I'm right. It's about it is right. Use the right product for what you want.
Now, the good news is at some point, because this is something I said in the very beginning to Gigaparts, we have to have replacement sections. At some point, they're going to have replacement sections. So if you break whatever,
statement. That's a fair statement.
Every spend 10, $15 and get a replacement section. I broke my Soda Beams Carbon 6. Mm-hmm. I bought a replacement. They're like $10. I don't know. They're stupid cheap. But right now, the demand is so high for these Gigaparts masks, they sell out like that. So the manufacturer is only making the actual mask. They haven't had time to make the replacement parts. So everything breaks. Anything can break. So, cough it up to a learning experience and maybe don't do that to your mask. Now,
I overbought when I did mine. I got the Spider Beam 12 meter, but the HD version. So it's even heavier.
Oh, wow.
So the heavy duty 12 meter pole.
I think that's what I got. John Whiskey Victor 3 Lima saying, is there a caveat to using carbon fiber for a mask? So carbon fiber technically is conductive. I know when I have put a J-pole up with a carbon fiber mask, your SWR is going to be not where you
whacked.
If you can kind of hang it, get it away from the carbon fiber, if it's leaning over a bit, you should be fine. I have ran with my 10 meter mast because it's like 34 feet. So the feed point, so I've ran my antenna. I took off the 40 meter element. So I just ran the 20 meter element as a vertical with the 10 meter carbon fiber Gigaparts mast. And the feed point was about 1.5 feet off the ground. And the wire was 6 inches away. I mean, just parallel to the mast, about 6 inches. And it was just fine. So yes, they do interact, but in my experience on HF, not much. And I'm also 99.9% of the time running it as a sloper as well. So it doesn't affect it at all. Yeah, it's completely irrelevant.
I think we have to remember this is not SpaceX, guys. This is not SpaceX. And
it could be.
Sometimes,
could be.
I think too many guys are splitting hairs. I sometimes I wonder if.
Are you saying that hams overthink things?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Not at all.
Yeah. Just go out there and put it up and make some contact.
The shock of it all.
And just to follow up, per Gigaparts at Dayton, when I gave them the approval for the 33-foot one, or it's 10 meters is really what it is. I don't know what they're going to put on 10 meters or 33 feet or whatever. They're saying they're going to be shipping in late October. That's all the news I have. Whether that happens or not, but I mean, it should be relatively soon. They should be available.
I think they changed their tune.
Did they?
Yeah. Hold on. Here.
He's on the site right now. Look at him.
I haven't heard any updates.
Yeah, they pushed it out to November. This is pre-order now, ships in November.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense to me because you think they ordered 1,000 of those at like right after Huntsville Ham Fest, which was like middle of August. So figure a couple months of fabrication, 6 weeks on the slow boat from China. Maybe not a couple months of fabrication, but whatever.
Get yours before January comes.
From order to when Gigaparts actually receives them. Plus, they've got to clear customs. You have no idea. I mean, most of my career, I sold imported goods from all around the world, and you can get an ETA from the vendor, but anything can happen between the time the ship leaves and it actually gets to the dock at Gigaparts. So don't forget that U.S. Customs is there. Generally, it doesn't take long to get through customs, but we had a container of mosaic tiles coming from I forget what country, but one of the pallets had a little bit of plant growth on it. So
I was just gonna say a bug. Usually, a bug is a problem.
Yeah, this was a plant on the pallet, was growing on the wood pallet. They sent the entire container back to the country of origin to be repalletized and reshipped. So it delayed it another like 3 months. Wow. And imagine you're remodeling your house and you're waiting on this tile.
For the little moss on the pallet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when the wife says, "I'm still not cooking."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gentlemen and folks that are watching, I've got to leave and take care of some stuff, but I want to thank you guys for showing up. And
wait a minute,
Mike,
you said
thanks
at the bottom of the hour.
Here you go, Joe Brett.
Yeah, that was 7 minutes ago.
What is the bottom of the hour then?
So, dude, in 13 more minutes, and we're going to be ending this show in 13 to 20 more minutes. What the hell's the difference? You're on Clubhouse time.
I got
who the hell ever bottom of the hour?
Tell him, Joe.
Shows up late and leaves early. That's your work ethic.
And bottom of the hour,
shows up late, leaves early.
The start of the hour and the end of the hour.
What would you say you do here?
Give him another gummy. Give him another gummy.
He's got to cleanse.
Give him another gummy.
He's got to cleanse his colon.
I just had all mine. I'm out.
Joe's out of gummies.
Joe's out of gummies.
They're gonna be kicking in the next 45 minutes. But anyway, thank you guys. Enjoyed it. Good to see you again. I'll promise I'll be here a little longer next week. I just got to get stuff I got to do. Anyway,
hi, brother.
Timmy Tree, everybody. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for coming in, Mike. We appreciate it.
Yep. Just waiting for him to leave.
Don't hit the wrong button.
The one that says leave. It says
leave
studio.
Don't hit that wrong button.
You have to hit that button like 3 times now. So
yeah, we want to stay here a little longer.
I see how much of a valued guest I am. Guy shows up late and leaves early. Screw you.
It's all Shane's fault.
You just want to come show his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I feel bad for the guy though. He's gonna have a good time pretty soon. When you say it was next month?
December.
Oh, that's in December. Okay.
In December, yeah.
Even more time to swelter over it.
Let me just grab your iPhone and hit live stream and just get a little tripod and.
God, please no.
You can catch up on all those K8MRD videos you need to watch.
Well, there's Dr. Pimple Popper. Why can't there be like Shane colonoscopy? People would watch that. People watch
good. No. Yeah, I know they do.
Yeah, I bet you that would get millions of views.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm sure it would.
Yeah, it would.
Probably get views for the wrong reason too.
It doesn't matter. It's a view.
Yeah, right.
I don't care why people watch it.
An interaction's an interaction. Yeah.
Yep.
I know. I've seen some of the comments.
While I'm making an antenna, I don't care. Just don't do it with me while I'm making the antenna.
That's it.
Hey Mike, some of my friends at work and around here locally will say, "Hey, I watched that guy K8MRD, and does he really get mad at when we see him laughing at? Do you take? Is there some animosity to maybe the stupidity, even though opinions are like noses. We all know everyone has one. But when they send you that communication back, does it really strike a nerve?
No.
And
what it is, I mean, I try very, very hard to show what I'm doing in as scientific a way as possible. I say that loosely, but I mean, I really do. like with that APRS trying to hit the thing, I'm like, I'm genuinely trying to do this. Okay. You guys are saying, let me KM4ACK is saying this. Let's try it. Let's put it to real world use.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't work. So those are my results. And just like if you're doing a scientific paper, you're going to have it peer reviewed and you're going to have criticisms. That's just part of the gig. So I don't take offense to it or get angry, but at the same time, it's like, some people will comment on things like that I've done or said in the video, and it's like, tell me you didn't watch the video without watching the video. There's a lot of people that are just, they're so eager to write their comment that they don't actually watch or pay attention to what I'm doing. So like, that's just kind of.
Tell me you didn't watch the video without telling me you didn't watch the video.
So the other part of that.
All right, go ahead. No, go ahead.
The other part of that is that I have, since I was 12 years old, I started working when I was 12 years old. Other than a few years in that time span from when I was 12 to like 41 years old, I've worked in some form of customer service. My former job was retail sales and sales management, that kind of stuff, but it's still dealing with customers. And when you're dealing with customers and you're not the owner of the customer or the owner of the company, you kind of have to just bite your lip and not say what you want because the customer is not always right. So now I get to do that. And that's the stupid comment. So I get to respond to them now as if you have not worked in retail or customer service, you'll have no idea how horrible people can be. People are very selfish.
Yes.
When you're a customer and you don't get your way, what happens? You get real angry and you start putting up a fit and I want it my way, blah, blah, blah. Or you broke your carbon fiber mast and then you're going to blame the company or you're going to email. And nobody's like said, nobody said anything bad. They're just like, I broke my mast. But it's like, you have to take accountability. And in my former business, shit would happen. Contractors would screw stuff up. Tile would break, especially like natural stone. Like it's a product of nature. I've done everything I can to tell you, buy more, return the extra. I don't care, but they don't. And then when stuff goes south, and I've painted that horror picture for them, and they don't listen, they want to blame, whoever.
Blame the
they want to blame somebody.
They want to blame somebody. Yeah. They can't take accountability.
Wow, and that's. I mean, how many people are blaming Boeing right now for wheels falling off or doors falling off on 20-year-old aircraft? How is that Boeing's fault?
Because you got to make sure the bolts are tight every now and then,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But Mike, let me tell you what I do. A lot of your videos now, I have learned. I'll click on your video and I'll stop it. You know what I do? I go through the comments first. Because I'm always curious to see, is there a jack wagon in there? Or is there some real, some people really have some great questions because we're all learning. We're all learning at all levels. There is not one guy who knows it all. But I always find, every once in a while, I find that one individual who either comes off as, I know more than Mike. And then or other times, I'm like, I don't think they really know. I'm wondering if they're just looking to get a rise out of you. And I want to say to them, like with Scout 75 and other people, you should be playing radio. And listen, I love watching so many. There's about 2 to 3 nights. I try to go to different channels, get caught up on things and this and that. But I find too many people not playing radio. At least I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. But they're spending a whole lot of time doing this as a keyboard warrior. And I really wonder what's their intention. Or maybe there's a different way of pointing it out to Mike, and maybe do it privately. I don't know. I find the whole
I mean, it's
psychology of this.
I don't. I am by nature kind of a glass is half empty kind of guy, and I realize that. So, I have to remind myself that a lot of these people probably aren't, typing things in like a malicious way, but there are just some people that are just stupid and they need to be called out. and I have a channel to do that. But no, I for the most part they're pretty. I mean, think of how many months go by before I make like a stupid comment video. It's because it takes me that long to get them. There are some people who will, and like I've recognized some names like repeat offenders who will just literally post stuff to maybe try and get a rise out of me. But at the end of the day, all I'm doing is I'm doing ham radio and I'm experimenting. I'm a very curious person. I always have been, in like how things work. And we're either going to see my successes or my failures or my unfiltered opinion on something, Zygu G106. And we don't have to agree. That's fine. But these are the things that are happening to me when I do things. If your luck is different, knock yourself out. But I will not get off the APRS soapbox. And that's like my I will die on that hill kind of thing. But I think it's funny the rivalry, if you will, between me and Jason. Like some people legitimately think like we hate each other, and that's the biggest trope. That's the funniest thing about us. And that's kind of why we're doing this stuff. I mean, it's purely by happenstance because somebody asked me how to spot, and I mentioned APRS, and then I got to do 2 more videos out of it. But they're like, I see those as experiments. It legitimately is. Okay, they say you can send a signal if you don't have cell phone. Let's try it. But in Jason's video, he's literally got a digipeater on his freaking wall, like where I would have my DMR hotspot right there. And he's like, I'm in a dummy load. Well, no shit, dummy, because the freaking thing is right next to you. Of course it's going to work.
So, I was watching that, and I'm like, is he even going to tell anybody?
No.
that he has the digipeater is him at his place?
Nope. Conveniently edited that part out.
Let's have him go down to Tim's Ford State Park and see if he can hit that digipeater.
I don't know where that is, but he probably can't.
It's about an hour south of his house.
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Wild Hog and Hamstead. The one that gets me is you didn't pronounce the name in that radio right. I assume you're talking about Zagu or Shagu or Zorro or Bofang. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I speak American, dude.
Mike, are you doing anything for this weekend? Are you going down to Galveston?
I was really excited to get this thing for Jason, this rotator for the Buddy Hex. So I was thinking of going up there. Well, if I had it, I would have gone up there. He's going to Ray Roberts. I might. I'm not sure. I've been away from home. I left Tuesday morning at 2:30 in the morning, and I just got back this morning at 2 a.m. The week before that, I was camping at Belton Thursday and Friday. I came home Saturday. So I've been on the road a bit. I don't know if I feel like going up to Denver. And it's like, I don't know, it's probably about 4 hours for me, which isn't that far, but I don't know. I want to. I'm kind of on the fence.
I was going to say, but Satan likes it when you're home.
Yes, he does. So
yeah, but that's on Saturday. You have 3 days now to recoup.
Yeah, but I've got a lot of videos to edit. I've got a lot of videos to make. I have. Oh, here, let me give you a sneak peek because I've got. So over there are a couple batteries.
There's the famous workbench that we always see.
Yeah, so that is a 100 amp hour battery from Power Queen that they did something new on. I need to do that one. That one right there. Guess how big that is?
400 amp.
It's 300 amp hour mini battery.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I just got 2 more from XZNY. They sent me a 280 and a 310 amp hour mini. So I've got a lot of batteries to review, and they all want them done before Black Friday, which is fine. I can do that. But then I want to do some QMX stuff, and I want to build this battery for the QMX. That's going to be fun. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be doing battery videos this weekend.
Yeah, maybe not. I try not to do actual work on the weekends, but like this week, I think I've got like 6 or 7 videos from the just from Washington that I need to edit. So I'll have a lot of those out, and then it's like you got to kind of space them out, and I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a deluge of Washington videos, but I won't do them all in one day. But I need to edit those, and I haven't even looked at my emails, so I didn't do a Mailbag Monday yesterday because I didn't film one. But I need to get back to that. So it's a lot of work making free videos.
You're gonna have to make
wrong.
another YouTube channel and call it Direct Current Tube.
That's a good idea. I like that.
What a crowd! What a crowd!
I don't need another YouTube video.
I like that. Hey,
because all this battery, like honestly, everything that I do is because of ham radio. Whether it's soldering, whether it's batteries, whether it's actual radio, electronics, it's all because I got into ham radio. So to me, it's all pertinent information. If you don't want to watch a video on batteries, that's fine. I understand. I love batteries. I'm a battery nerd. But I think a lot of us in the ham radio community I wouldn't say we're all preppers. I'm not a prepper, but I understand. So having like these bigger batteries, and now like lithium iron phosphate batteries are getting so incredibly cheap.
That's right.
And so dense.
For preparedness, communicate. Ask anyone in Florida or Asheville, North Carolina, if they wish they had batteries and solar. I think they all play together. Whether you're just using a battery to do portable radio if you're camping or POTA or whatever, or if your power goes out because a tree fell down or a squirrel zapped himself on a transformer. Having these batteries and an inverter could be the difference between throwing out thousands of dollars worth of food in your fridge or having the lights on and having your fridge. Like a fridge doesn't take much electricity at all. They're pretty efficient nowadays.
Especially if it's full.
Or if your power is out, doesn't mean your internet's out. That means the power line's down somewhere. So if you can get power to your router, you have internet again. And a lot of routers are 12 volt. Some of them aren't. So you can get a cheap inverter, 300 watt inverter from Amazon for $50 that's RF quiet. Power your inverter or your router. So I don't think there's too many hams that wouldn't resonate with.
Oh yeah,
right.
Batteries is the gold bar for ham radio.
Yeah. And Don says he doesn't watch HT videos. So I've never said this publicly. I don't think. Like I'm so done reviewing Chinese HTs. I get emails from them, and like Redivis just emailed me the other day, and they're like, "We haven't heard from you," and TYT just emailed me. I'm like, Bridgecom emailed me. I emailed them back. I'm like, well, if this radio has something new and unique, and it's this, and this, if it's actually easy to operate and has a good user interface, it's a DMR radio they wanted me to review. Never heard anything back from them. They're like, nope. So my take is that no, it still sucks, but it's a new Chinese HT that we're trying to push. We'll send you a free one if you give it a review. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
My last communication with one of them was the same story. I was like, unless it's something completely new, I'm taking a break.
It's just with the Chinese HTs, it's just like the new sticker of the day. That's all it is.
Firmware, same screen, different case.
When I first got licensed, I bought a Bofang UV5R V2 Plus. That was my first ham radio. And I gave it to my nephew so he could listen. He's big into like train rail fanning stuff. He's got a YouTube channel called Railfanner 313. I think that's the name of the channel. So I gave him that radio so he could listen to the trains. But when I bought that radio, then you get sucked in, and I bought the Bofang GT3TP, that orange one, because it was 8 watts, and it's got a better antenna. It's a piece of crap, but I got sucked into it, and but it's all just marketing crap. It's the same freaking radio, so there's no reason for me to review anything other than the $18 Bofang UV5R that you can buy on Amazon. Like, why would you spend $50 or $100 on a Chinese HT when you can get a Bofang? If you're going to upgrade from a UV5R, get an ICOM or a Kenwood or a Yaesu, and that's the next upgrade. But
and besides, Ape
Go
or
ahead.
Jim's just going to show us how dirty the transmissions are. So,
well, yeah. So once we all got tiny SAs, I mean, the one good thing that came out of that is that the companies started paying attention, that we're checking them on their FCC licenses and harmonics and all that stuff to see if they're actually clean. So some of them have done their due diligence. Even TalkPod, like my TalkPod is clean. That A36 whatever. And that's from
they can't
feedback.
just throw an FCC ID on there?
No, they can't. So, I mean, so we're calling them out on it, but Ape and Jim, and I mean, there's so many other YouTubers that are doing reviews on these Chinese HTs, and I've always been a creative person. Like when I was a kid, I was in bands, I was writing music, playing shows, and creating that way. In my former job, it was very creative. It was, let's just call it interior design for lack of a better term. Now with YouTube, I can be creative in what I make, in the content that I make, and really for me, the editing part is really fun. That's why I made that video that I posted on Friday about how I edit POTA videos. Which, because I think POTA videos were very exciting in the beginning when nobody knew what POTA was, but now it's like everyone and their brother has a YouTube channel, and they're just sticking a camera there and recording themselves making contacts, and they're boring as crap. So I try very, very hard to not do what other people are doing. And that Chinese HT thing kind of falls in place with that. I mean, even how I'm reviewing batteries, like all the other guys are they have that West Mountain Radio thing and they check capacity and that's it. Well, it's like, well, that shows the capacity. That's great. But my capacity is like a 5-second blurb. Yeah, it did it. I got 306 amp hours out of that 300 amp hour battery. So it's great. It did the thing. But I don't need to spend a whole video doing that. Let's hook it up to an inverter, see what kind of power we can get out of it, see if the BMS actually does. Basically copying Will Prowse in that regard. But like the G90 video I did a couple weeks ago, how many hams are there that don't look around in their everyday life and think that could be an antenna, that could be an antenna? So I did it. I brought my G90 out and I didn't bring an antenna. I made antennas out of random things.
That was fun to watch.
Like Kevin up in Iowa or Idaho or wherever the hell he is loads up his grain silos and his tractors and stuff. So it's kind of in that regard. But I actually stole influence for that video from I don't know why, but I've started watching these guys playing Grand Theft Auto, and it's like Grand Theft Auto role playing, and they're just putting themselves in these different scenarios. And there's another channel called Urban Rescue Ranch. There's a guy in Waco who's rescues wild animals. And I just love his editing style and his personality. So I kind of stole a little bit of inspiration from that. Just to be different, to set myself apart from my peers. If everybody's reviewing the hottest radio of the day,
Mike,
to some extent, everyone's gonna have something different to add. Like I'm sure, I've got my reservation in for the new Yaesu QRP radio. So we're all going to get flooded with videos of the F1X, whatever the hell the thing's called. We're going to be inundated with reviews for that, and myself included. I'll have one. I'll give my opinion on it. I'm paying for it because Yaesu and ICOM don't give out free radios. But there's so many things in ham radio to differentiate yourself. And it's what you do and how you do it that I try to be different. So, yeah.
Mike, my question is on that Will It Antenna video. Were you able to turn the lamppost on when you tuned it?
No, it wasn't a touch.
Damn it.
Actually, I didn't. I never looked up. So I don't know. I don't actually know.
Round 2. Let's see.
Yeah, people are already wanting to see like more of that kind of stuff. And it's kind of simple, like Walt, K4OGO. He's making all kinds of different antennas on the beach, just experimenting. Just ask yourself a question and go do it and find out,
But so. I think as many audience members, we enjoy people who can take maybe adventures. I look at like, Walt and you and everybody else. You're in your world, and you're bringing me into your world to go on this adventure with you, to have some fun and learn.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about the various batteries and putting loads on them, you're talking about the various chargers to use and how to understand the various chargers. Some people don't think about that, including myself. I'm watching this. I'm like, oh my God, I'm still learning and having fun as technology changes, which it's going to continue to change. This is not, back from the 70s and 60s. Guys were using car batteries.
Mm-hmm.
We're not using car batteries anymore, guys.
Even right when I started getting into ham radio, like lithium iron, like I think Julian OH8STN was the first guy that I saw using lithium iron phosphate.
The headway.
I think so. Yes.
That was around 2017-ish, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. Prior to that, I mean, the first battery I bought was an AGM battery from like Batteries Plus. It was a little like 8 amp hour Duracell something, and then lithium iron phosphate has pretty much taken over the ham radio
and
world.
The batteries is just one rabbit hole. Again, the Mast, the antennas, the radios, they're just the logging software for whatever you're going to. There's so many different rabbit holes, and I just love going on these adventures with everybody. For me, sit in the tent here, go in the garage, whatever, fire up a cigar, watch for 45 minutes to an hour. It's fun. It is literally fun to watch and everything. So.
Yeah. I like creating, I like working with my hand, building battery boxes is another thing. I mean, it's battery related, but it's electronics and prepping and powers out. And there's so many different uses for them. So it's amazing the things that I've gotten into that are a direct cause of my becoming a ham. So yeah, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, gentlemen,
matter of fact, I'm gonna be real quickly. I'm gonna be building a box for my FT891. I'm going back to old school of what I did back in the 90s versus what I did for over the last.
You're not gonna make a battery out of potatoes, are you?
No. I'm looking for a carry option for my FT891. That's going to be different than anybody else because it's for me. It's for me of how I want to use it for the winter months. Maybe it'll have some other applications in the summer. And so, but I'm going to use something. I want something different. That's what it's all about. By taking these ideas from everybody who I've watched over the years, or even recently, and their ideas may work for them. Their end solutions go, but along the way, I'm picking up these little things saying, I think I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, and because I need it to meet my needs. So that's the beauty of what everybody is doing. We can all learn from that.
That's it.
So
that's it.
That's what it's all about. So, hey guys, we're at the top of the hour here. Hey Shane, we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to end the show. Shane, if he's watching.
Mike, Jody wants to know if you have a fire extinguisher nearby.
I think there's one under the kitchen sink.
He thinks in the kitchen sink. That's what
I'm
everyone
like
says.
70% sure there is one.
You're probably going to get one drop shipped to you to put near
I'm putting
the workbench.
What's a few hundred amps among friends? The thing, all right.
A glowing orange relationship.
The thing that I love about the comment section of my battery videos are my bracelets. Because I never take them off.
Well, you mentioned that.
You should take those bracelets off. You could kill yourself. I'm like, well, it's not physically possible for these bracelets to touch both terminals at the same time because physics.
But people are worried about you. But people don't want to hear you had one of those combustible incidents, and we're not going to see any more. That's the only reason why they're doing it.
Well, I mean, I have taken them off for some because some of the terminals are pretty close, and if they are, I will take them off. But if they're like these batteries, actually the 300 amp hour battery, I could kill myself with because I think the BMS on that doesn't trip for overcurrent until like 800 amps.
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
Weld with that bad boy.
But the Power Queen, the terminals are like a foot apart. It's not possible. Yeah. And then like safety glass. What do I need safety glasses for checking electricity? Come on.
Satan's going to walk up and say, Daddy, wake up. Daddy, wake up.
Yeah. Contacts.
But so and another thing that people have asked, one guy commented on one of the recent battery videos I did, that the video was completely worthless because I didn't do a short circuit test. That's one thing that I'm kind of wary of because I don't want my house to burn down.
Yep.
And it would be, I mean, it's a 50-foot walk out to my front door with a flaming hot 2,000-degree burning battery. Not going to be good. So, like, yeah, I could take it outside, but then I got to take those outside and the camera gear.
And the camera gear.
It would take like an extra 2 minutes.
Like you put these,
yeah.
you put these batteries to great use and other great projects. It'd be a shame to do a short circuit test, and whether it worked or didn't, it killed it. I have shorted out some batteries, and that was my first experience of realizing that you can kill a battery and the power supply is hooked too. And
yeah,
but
the other thing to that is, and I don't think this is really a good excuse, but like, I've got fuses on everything. So if I'm not relying on the battery's protection for short circuiting. You know, I'm relying on fuses. Now, can stuff happen? Of course they can. But the other thing I don't want to do, I don't want to tear them apart, because if the battery actually does what it's advertised to do, I don't want to tear it apart because I actually use these things. So there's that. But
no sense in doing a range test on it if it does what it's supposed to do.
Right. Exactly.
Aside from the bracelets, just promote the safety use of, fusing, like you said.
I did want it. I was almost going to do make sure you wear safety glasses, and then I was just going to have them on my head.
I don't remember what you said in one of the last videos I watched, but Noelle was coming through the room and she looked at me and looked at the screen. Something you said, I just said, "That's your boy Mike," because you always got these sayings that are just like slaps you in the face, and it's like, "Yep, that's my." Like, I about come out of my seat when you were doing your power was out, and you were showing all your extension cords, and you walk in front of the mirror, and you're like, "Hi, Mom," and it just I was, and it makes it funnier, I guess, because I know you.
It's real.
It's
real.
Hilarious,
and we know that's Mike. Yep.
Yeah, when I usually don't even pay attention to whatever you're doing in your videos. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to. I'm watching for your personality, Mike.
Well, we've got some new geography lessons in some of these videos that'll be coming out soon. So
great.
Pay attention to that. Look out for those. And I'm encouraged to see the Discord chat for safety poster.
There
you go.
So yeah.
No, seriously. Appreciate your videos and your personality and the effort you put in.
Thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you for
my pleasure.
We know you were on a long trip. Like I said, we just wanted to say, hey, what do you got going on in your life lately and whatever, and just hang out and chat with us. So
not a colonoscopy.
Not a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're maybe 30-70 to whether you're going to be playing Pota with the boys, but I'm sure you might go out and play Pota locally in your park next to you on Saturday. I'm sure our ham alerts will go off because it's support.
Honestly, my days usually start by me waking up and doing my morning ablutions and then saying, "What do I want to do today?" And then doing it. So
that's nothing wrong with that.
So I have no idea. I would like to go up to Ray Roberts, but I don't know.
Joe, what are you going to do? Joe, what are you going to do this weekend?
Anything? I'm just going to wake up and ask myself, what do I want to do today? And then we're going to see what I pick from. So that's what I love about
You're going to see what Noelle picks for you?
Oh, right. She always has the itinerary.
My itinerary versus her entire.
When do I feed Satan? So Satan has 3 water fountains, and he has a big trough of food that just gravity feeds into the bowl. And then usually one time during the day when he gets crabby enough, I'll give him some wet food. Yep. And he's got 2 litter boxes in there.
There you go.
2.
There you go.
Not 1, but 2.
That's nice.
Do you have the self-cleaning litter box already?
As soon as I go in and clean it, it's self-cleaning. Yep.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. If the mailman, I'm not done, Izzo. Hold up. You want to hurry?
Dude, I will lose sleep. I have to get up early in the morning. I won't.
So look, I don't know what's man. I ain't even going to mention it, but the company that delivers your mail on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard
the
of
government entity.
makes no sense. My Amazon package got scanned in out for delivery first. Since I have Prime and my parents doesn't, and they wanted me to order them something, theirs got scanned in like 30 minutes later out for delivery. Theirs gets delivered. Mine gets, sorry, we attempted to deliver. You can pick it up at the post office. I'm like, what? So I leave work. It takes me almost an hour from my office to get to the post office. So I leave early to get there before they shut the counter. And I'm like, hey, I got a package to pick up. What's your address? Give it to them. I'm like, oh, we ain't got it here. It must still be on the truck.
Don't
like,
you love that the post office closes at 4:30, so most people who get off at 5 can't get there in time?
And like, I was like, it was scanned in at 10:43 this morning as not being able to be delivered, yet she delivered at 12:40.
Right next
another
door.
package, right? No, it come to my house because it was my Amazon account. I just ordered it for them, right? So I'm just trying to wrap my head around this, but whatever. I wasn't going to be able to, it's Tuesday night, show night. I wasn't going to be able to do things with the thing anyway, but I requested, I said, can she try delivering it again tomorrow? And they're like, oh, you can call before 8:30 before they leave out. And I'm like,
wow.
You have one job to do.
I'm like, how do you call? The only number you have is a 188 number, a 1-800 number that goes somewhere in the country. I can't call you directly.
Someone answers it.
No, it doesn't even go into the country. It's probably a call center in a foreign country.
Anyway,
Bob answers. Bob.
If it'll show up, since my videos will slow down because I only do a video when I find something now interesting, especially since I quit doing HT videos until one of them become interesting again. You get what you get. But so the antenna that come off my repeater when I got evicted from the hospital location, I was pretty excited. It's a GP9, right? So it's a $200 antenna. I'm like, I'm gonna put that to use up here. That's a big boy antenna. Well, I get it.
Yeah,
put
that's
up.
that 17-footer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it put up on like a 20-foot pole, and I'm like, darn thing's as tall as my 40-foot tower on top of that 20-foot pole, right? Because it's almost 20 feet itself.
There you go.
I hook it up, and I'm running 3.5 SWR. I'm like, wait a minute. So maybe I got bad coax, right? Because I had a disc cone that was doing the same, it was running a little high too. So I go out there and start checking stuff with the rig expert, and sure enough, it's showing. So I get a short piece of coax, run it to it, 3.5. I'm like, I'll be dang. So I go over to the disc cone, hook it up. It's showing 1.1. So I'm like, okay, it's got to be the coax, right? But it's not because I just
deduction.
Yeah. So, it may have been the coax because when I was putting this antenna on, I seen I had a bad connector. So I replaced the connector. So that could have been it. But the big thing with common antennas and antennas similar to it, the most likely thing to go out on them is those little ceramic capacitors in them. And there's 4 into this one, and they look pretty shoddy. Yeah. Some of them, I remember the local old former radio club that used to be around years ago before me. When I put my repeater at the hospital, they're like, good luck with that, because every time the wind blew and the clouds got gray, our repeater got hit by lightning on top of the hospital. I'm like, well, this was up there for 10 years. The radios kept working, but it looked like it got a little hot toward the top of that antenna at some point. But, so the capacitors may have
1.21 gigawatts will do that.
They may have capacited a little bit. So hopefully when my capacitors ever show up in the mail, that's why it kind of pisses me off, because Amazon's going to go by the tracking data, right? And the post office they're just going to leave it as, well, we try to give it to you. So Amazon's going to say, well, you need to go to the post office, pick it up. And I'm like, they ain't got it. I ain't got it. I need some more. And they're like, well, you're going to have to wait 30 days for it to not. Anyway, can you tell I've been through this before a time or two?
Just a time or two.
So, Steve, what you got going, man?
Really nothing. I'm going to try to get out.
15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get out and do support your parks this weekend.
I'm sorry.
That's all good.
No. I'm my rant.
Oh,
the length of
it. No, Joe, we're all family here. Joe, we're all family.
We like it.
We like it.
There you go.
We still have 97 people watching.
Yep. support your parks this weekend. I do need to do some testing on the OHIS stuff that I've got. I got a new board from our buddy Mark out there at Halibut Electronics, so I'll be testing that out. Apparently, there was a grounding issue in the contest console. I think it was. So I just got
Steve.
that put in. Yep.
Halibut, you mentioned that. You think one of those eggnogs would work on a car?
It's worth a test. I mean,
almost every day on my way home from work, I'm hearing the ISS repeater, and I'm trying to give it 50 watts with my quarter wave vertical on the trunk, and I ain't getting it. So I'm like, maybe I should get one of those eggnog.
They've been doing an SSTV event recently.
Yeah, but in between the transmissions, people were burning it up with contacts, and then
really,
then the astronauts flip the switch and it starts doing its bleeping again.
Just say they've been doing a couple of school contacts as well as that SSTV event. So, but yeah, I actually do have the 440 eggnog is up on my tower. I need to redo the mount for that because I used a cheap piece of angle iron up there. So I need to get some actual C channel. But other than that, nothing really. Be here next Tuesday, and hopefully I'll get another video out this week.
Yay.
Kill it, man.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
The egg beater antenna is a design that goes way back. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first got into the hobby, guys were chasing birds and this and that. Limited amount of birds too. But I remember a guy had a Volvo and he had a piece of PVC pipe. And he was, I think, on 2 meters, and I think he was going in on 2, out on 10, or I forgot what the configuration was. But anyway, just put it out there. I don't care what vehicle, I don't care where in the house. I just get it outside, and I think you'll be quite. As long as you got a clear path of any immediate brush trees, I think you'll see.
I got the youngin out trying to get involved the other night. I was like, "Hey, you want to go see the space station go across the sky?" And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Here, hold this bow thing."
Yeah.
And then I
tape measure Yagi.
Yeah. Then I had my Yaesu trying to transmit. Never could hear nothing. Son of a gun. I should have grabbed the Yagi. I didn't. Yep. But I don't like to try to do stuff that makes sense. I like the challenge part. Teachers always told me, "You're doing things the hard way." So
I have that
problem. Can't do it the hard. I mean, if you can do it the hard way, why do it the easy way?
Well, my answer was, well, quit showing me the hard way first because that's how I learn and I can't relearn. So
there you go.
Let's start with the easy way.
Yeah, show me the easy way first. But Izzo, how about you?
Well, I'm in the tent. The tent is officially up. The Eskimo ice hut is officially up. Yes, officially up until about,
never noticed.
Till about April, maybe. Temperatures are dropping. Got to stay warm. So, we're going to be. I haven't decided. Like you guys, I'm definitely playing Saturday. I don't know where. I don't know if I'm going to be in Connecticut or I may want to go out to Rhode Island and just operate some of the. Maybe something new out there that I haven't done, or just go back to some fun places that I have been. Just have been there in a couple of years. So that's Saturday. Friday night, Northeast Hams, and I'm going to be on their show. I think 7 p.m. Eastern time, live on YouTube. I think we got Salty Walt coming on board, so we'll be hanging out, rag chilling with those crazy guys.
What show?
Northeast Hams.
Oh, okay.
N1JUR in the gang. Yeah, those crazy guys up north there in the New Hampshire area. They're a fun group. The East Coasters. So I'll be playing YouTube with them on Friday night, and then I'm just gonna get the gear ready, and then I'm just gonna go back to the POTA map. Between like every day at work, I pull up the POTA map, I pull up the Google map, and see what I want to do. It all depends what time I want to get my happy ass up on Saturday morning, and how far do I want to go, that kind of thing. And it's off season now for Rhode Island, so less crowds. Makes it a little bit easier. But the problem is a lot of those good seafood shacks that you see with Salty Walt, a lot of them are probably closed down by now. But that's right. There's still other places open. But Walt pointed out a lot of great places to go get good, fresh seafood. So,
but no gooey duck.
Yeah, no gooey duck. No, we're not gonna do no gooey duck. So look for me. So look for me and the other thousands and thousands of other ham radio operators on the band this weekend. So it's gonna be funny either way or not. So
Izzo, y'all don't have any you don't have no amateur radio in your dispatch center?
Only when I bring it inside and I get yelled at.
Man, so I don't know. It was somewhere in like middle Tennessee. There was this guy on 2 meters. Motorola always had that tone after it, but his dispatch center had a Motorola on 2 meters, and the antenna was, I forget how high the tower was, but you used to talk to him
from
pretty
inside.
often.
From inside, I can hit a DMR repeater and I can hit a D-Star repeater and I can hit an FM and I can hit a couple, but they don't like it. They're so. And I'm not gonna start playing the Bluetooth game. And I got a job to do, as you know. You got a job in there to do. So, but it's fun. Like I said, I haven't this. Like I said, I think I really want to go out to Rhode Island. I just want to pack up because in 2 hours I could be where I got to be, and that's really nothing. That's really
in
nothing.
2 hours you'd be
up
across the entire state.
Yeah, basically that's what it is.
It takes that long?
Well, no, the problem is when I go out to Rhode Island, I don't want to come home. I got to be back. I have to be at work on Sunday. I try taking Sunday off. I can't. It's a staffing issue. So it's one of those things on Saturday. I know what's going to happen. I'm not going to want to leave. So, and I'm one of these guys sometimes too. I get back from a pod activation, 1 or 2 parks, whatever. I come home, put everything down. I'm playing radio from home again. I don't know why. You just get in that whole radio mode, and it's funny when some people say, "Are you still at a park?" No, I'm home now. It's a whole new contact, man. We're fresh contact. We're new, and I've been playing with that World Radio League software. That's a very interesting software. I know we had we had one of their guests on. Was it 2 weeks ago? That's some fun software. I still like my Polo, but that World Radio League stuff is very interesting.
Everybody, welcome Julie to the show.
Yeah, Poda Power. Poda Power, guys. Check them out. Guys, check out the Poda Power. They're a fun group down there in Florida. We're glad they survived the hurricane down there, 2 of them, and they're doing well down there, and they're building up all of their YouTube stuff. So check them out. Check them out on Facebook. Good people. Yep. Her and Vaughn. Good people. So that's about up here from the Northeast from here.
All right. Everybody give that awkward wave, and I'll hit the button. We get out of here.
Report,
bye, guys.
See y'all.
73 y'all.
Bye.
Bye.